have a look.
La 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 la. Okay. Still hasn't said we're live yet, but OBS says we are.
Brilliant.
Oh no, there it is. Okay. Oh no, there it is. Okay. Mute that. Okay.
Apparently we're live, according to everything.
Chat, come join us. Can't believe Centro wasn't here already.
Yep, we're good. Sound levels seem okay-ish, but I'll get chat to obviously tell us that when they're here.
Definitely.
You'll command chat to tell us.
Yeah. Well, they're a better judge of it than my mono phone speaker. So.
Oh crap! I need to have the document up because
Might help.
Ron Burgundy. Okay.
The Steam Deck stuff actually surprised me, but I'll talk a bit more about that.
Oh yeah, it's gonna
when
be
we go
fun.
into it.
It's gonna be a good episode. Chat, come join us. Lots to talk about. Seriously need a haircut.
Me too. I'm going next week.
Mm.
Well, I have to, really.
Well, okay, so you guys, do you still have to wear the mask and go behind the plexiglass and stand in line and take a number?
What?
No.
Yeah.
We've never had to do that.
I was going to say never had to do that at all.
Well,
No.
we do in Ireland. Most restrictive lockdown.
Well, the thing is, right, is this is what I had already I'd said to my partner is it's going to be quite difficult for them to cut hair when you got a mask on, especially when they do round the side of like ears and that. So.
No.
Yeah, well, Northern Ireland sucks then.
Well, to be fair, I mean, yes, we are the most restrictive country on record, but we also have the lowest rates of infection.
Yeah, you do. So. How's North Korea feel right now?
Oh, shut up.
I didn't say I was going to be nice about it.
It does suck. I'm not going to lie, it does suck. But that's why I can't...
The difference country's been run by Kim Jong-O'Connell.
Well, I was just about to say Kim Jong DUP more like, but you know.
But yeah, that's why I can't give any definitive dates for fanfare.
What up, Brent? Bueno.
Hey!
Yo, yo,
Brent,
yo.
I don't know if you saw what I put in Rapid Reviews podcast channel, but yeah, that Warframe thing has got me intrigued.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Sorry.
The cross-play is like really.
Yeah. Looks awesome.
This morning, like when I was just going through YouTube, I came across they gave it a gameplay demo for like kind of story stuff for the new expansion, and it was actually very well done. I was like, oh, this looks quite interesting. Actually, I might just give it another bash.
That's
very
good.
Cool.
Just deciding will I play it on PC or Xbox. Second half it doesn't. It's just a matter of keyboard, mouse, or controller.
Yeah.
I'll probably do it on Xbox if anything, because
your PC is terrible. Buy a new one.
I'm looking into it, and we might discuss.
I mean,
that
right? Is it not cheaper to just like upgrade though? I've heard that it's cheaper just to get the platform and upgrade it yourself.
I'm looking into that possibility.
Pete, I don't think you can upgrade because you have integrated graphics.
Yeah, I know that's the problem.
Oh yeah, that is a hunk of junk, Pete.
Yeah. I mean,
look, I bought it cheap, all right. That was the best part about it. It was
like,
look, believe you me, if I wasn't using this computer right now, we wouldn't podcast at all because my laptop was even worse than this.
It served its purpose, but
it has. Yeah, I've
once
got no
you told
problem
me
with
the
it.
specs, I was like,
yeah, it's dog poo. It's absolute dog poo.
Yes, I think when did I get mine? I think I got my PC in 2015, and at that time it was like worth like 100 odd. I think.
Oh my.
And
no, I'm not laughing at that, Ciaran. I'm laughing at something else I've just seen on Twitter.
I'm not laughing. I'm going, oh dear.
If it's chat, can someone put the Twitch stream link in chat? And I'll just go on my laptop for it.
Yep. Hey, Lynn. Brent, I just finished my latest game to review a few seconds ago. That gameplay demo was live. I couldn't believe it. Yep, it looked crazy. I'm gonna post this into us. I've literally just seen this on Twitter, and it's just making me giggle.
Lynn, are you working this weekend? Do you have some time off? Thank you. I'm really like into the blue and pink lately. Well, for the last 5 years, but I got on in peak.
Lately.
I like the Seymour in pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's literally the fact that it's a low poly like Principal Skinner just posted on top of Princess Peach.
What?
It's the image I've just posted in our. Oh my god.
There's 5,000 things going on. ADHD
Oh my
brain
god.
can't handle
Yeah,
it.
I know.
What are we
Did you
doing?
not? I did not know that. That was meant to be Princess Peach. Also, the little Jill.
Are you joking? That is literally the opening screen from Mario 64. That's why it made me laugh so much. I was
Oh
like,
my
Jesus
god.
Christ, mashing up like Mario
I thought it was
64
with the
with
pink
the
shot.
same hand. Jesus, man.
Well, Lynn,
Oh dear.
you know if
This
you
is
need
what
to
I've got to
sleep.
deal with.
Yes, if you know if you need to sleep, go sleep. But we.
If you need to sleep, Lynn, carry on listening. That will put you to sleep.
Yeah, just leave us on the background.
The minute we start talking about games, that's it.
Well, but remember, Ciaran's the local ASMR voice, apparently.
Yeah, that's why I said stay here.
I mean, right,
Sleep
in
soon
the day,
enough.
what you're really doing, right, think about it in a cool way, you're essentially travelling forward in time to when it's the audio version.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
What was it I was listening? I was listening to last podcast on the left yesterday whilst I was out and about. And one of them was trying to justify that if you cancel plans with anyone, you're technically a time bandit.
I agree with that. I can't stand flakes. I cannot stand it.
No, not even just that. No, it's the fact that you're the master of your own time. By cancelling plans, you've manipulated time. It's weird. I don't know where they were coming from.
I'm not happy with.
I think they were high as it was all anything, to be honest.
I think that you steal people's time, especially if they've been planning for weeks for a party and like no one shows up. Yes.
Yeah, that sounds like me.
I spent like $100 on food.
Oh, that's the
and
worst.
I got a bunch of like RSVPs from Facebook, and then they're like, I don't feel like it.
Oh man, I've just realised I need to update this.
Let's see. Lynn says, think I can stay awake for a little bit just to hear your banter is worth it. Aww.
Very
you
kind
have
of you.
Great banter.
Very wholesome.
That's why I made everyone go live, because we were bantering off camera.
Yeah, we were we were pretty badly.
Stream. Yeah. No. Is it bothersome that my shirt is backwards on the stream? I could flip it.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I know. I'm mostly talking to chat. Brent says, I'm going to make a quick breakfast. Spicy breakfast burrito. Or
Nice.
English. Always breakfast burrito, Brent. Always. Or English muffin sandwich. Always breakfast burrito.
If Deadbeat shows up today, then he's still king of chat, going by his little gold, silver, and bronze presents.
Yeah.
Right, Ciaran, you've now been added to the description on Twitter.
Yeehaw.
Yeah. I just looked just to see if the what do you call it? The auto notification went out on Twitter.
Righto.
But it didn't for some reason.
Alright, Lynn.
Even though I've linked the account.
Refresh my memory. What Amigas is. And then Brent says, I don't know, I still have first and he doesn't. Brent was literally the first.
He wasn't, actually. I was the first.
No,
Because
he's
it
the
was
first
on one
to
of your
gift.
goddamn streams.
Yeah, you did. But he was the first to gift. And
Yeah, he
gifted
was.
it to Ciaran. So.
He did,
Thing is,
yeah,
though-
I agree.
The thing is, though, even if you come first, time and age will catch up to you.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Which will leave Deadbeat Punk to then turn to you and say the future is now, old man. And that'll be you done.
I think I should.
You'll be usurped by youth.
I'm already old
I'm
anyway,
gonna
so
drink
I've
now.
kind of already had to deal.
The slow march of time.
I mean, for most of us that won't come, because I was reading a story, right? I was reading a fun story that claimed that society as we know it will collapse by 2040.
Oh great!
So,
I'll
you know what,
still be
folks?
quite young.
Excellent.
You know, people have always said life is short, do what you want, but quite literally, life will be very short from here on out.
Oh my gosh! Why are you saying this now? I can't handle
listen.
this existential crisis.
It's only a crisis if you want it to be.
How do you make
the
it
world is
not
ending.
aggressive?
Look busy. That's what I say.
Okay, cheerful nihilism. It is. There's so much I need to do. Let's see. Lynn says corn tortillas. Yes. Eggs, tomatoes, onions, and jalapenos cooked together. Yes, yes. And then Brent, if you keep this up, I may have to do something outrageous. Ooh. I'm intrigued.
Well, I like when you do something outrageous because it usually means give subs.
Brent, do not threaten me with a good time.
Oh goodness, Lynn! Now you've made me hungry, and I'm like on a very strict diet now. JP's put me on super strict.
Oh, yeah.
For my barbecue today, I had an American style hot dog, and it was too big.
I have. I'm not joking. By the time I think we hit 4:30, there's going to be smoke billowing into my room because the barbecue's being lit at that time, and I can't wait.
Everything is
I want to
bigger in
eat
America.
all the barbecue food.
Oh, y'all are killing me. You know what I have to eat? Guess what I have to eat for the rest of my freaking life? Ooh, I self-censored.
Nachos.
What? What?
Nachos.
I said rice.
Oh, nope, can't touch rice. That's a carb. Chicken
Oh,
breast
right.
and broccoli.
So little trees and chicken.
Yes.
I see no problem with that.
It's
I mean, broccoli's just kinda.
It's kind of meh. Yeah.
It's okay.
It's
when
not
you
the
put
worst
cheese
thing in the
on it.
world.
Or if you put cheese and butter and salt on it, but then that kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, but that defeats the whole point of it being healthy.
I just need to get my gains back.
What you do is you just get a bit of piece of broccoli, dump it in some custard, boom. Lovely snack.
Oh my god. Oh, that is horrible. No.
Delicious.
Actually, weirdly, Lynn, I can have corn tortillas. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
But you can't get them here. I have to special order them. And they're very expensive.
Are you allowed to have Green
Wait, you
Giant sweet corn?
Ho ho ho.
Green
Giant. Oh my
You're not
gosh.
supposed to eat cheese, apparently, Kylie. You're not supposed to eat cheese.
I know. It's
Why aren't you
weakness.
supposed to eat cheese?
Well,
Carb.
there's several reasons, but the honest truth is, it's
Lactose intolerant?
it's very high in calories, and I love it. They said
I
that
couldn't.
cheese is addictive as heroin.
Yeah, it is. You can tell me that a few more times.
See, I don't think I could live if I was lactose intolerant.
Oh gosh, no.
Oh
I
Jesus
don't
Christ!
think
No,
I could either.
no.
No
I
offense
drink
to anyone that is.
I drink too much milk to be lactose intolerant.
What, are you the sort of person that literally strolls up at like 1 a.m. and is like, I need a drink straight out of the
Milk
carton?
was a bad choice.
No. I put it in my glass, in my mug, and I go to bed, and I just go have a mug of milk, a glass of milk, watch something, and then fall asleep.
And a
Because
cookie.
milk is great for getting to bed.
That's so wholesome. I'm dying.
Yeah, it is actually. I'm not gonna
Oh,
deny
yes.
that. I'm not gonna try and make jokes about it. That is true.
And if it is the winter, we go hot chocolate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a machine that makes hot chocolate.
I have never found a good hot chocolate.
Galaxy's really good. Cadbury's is amazing.
No.
White chocolate is quite
What
nice.
you mean that absolute powdered crap that I use?
Well, you can do
No.
it either powdered or you can do melted. You can melt your own Cadbury's and then
Yeah,
a
and
little bit of milk.
And the
Holy
last
crap.
time I had one
Diabetes
of
in a
those.
glass.
Wait, the last time I had one of those, I was in Poland. It was 80% chocolate,
Oh.
barely any milk, and it was the sickliest thing that
I was
think
gonna
I've
say that would be
ever
sickly
drunk in
as
my life.
Anything.
The fact that I got through my whole one was quite a surprise. But the fact that my sister-in-law made me drink the rest of hers, no, I couldn't handle that.
Okay, so we've got Brent saying I might be able to bring some next year if customs won't confiscate them. Scientifically, pizza is the most addicting food. Oh, don't get me into food. I wrote a book about it. I will bore everyone to frickin' tears.
No, honestly, my mum's on a new diet, so they had Domino's as their takeaway last night, and she couldn't finish it, so she's not allowed the pizza today. So who got it for their breakfast this morning?
Oh, wow.
Me. It was good.
Doritos are the most addictive chips, or as you guys call them,
Pete was the
crisps.
dub this morning.
Oh, I got multiple dubs this morning.
Pizza dub. Lynn, I bought I brought dill pickles last year. Yeah, Lynn brought me dill pickles. Please bring me more.
Sorry.
I mean, if I was cousins, I wouldn't want to touch dill pickles.
Please bring me more dill pickles.
Can you explain to me what dill pickles are? Cause are they just gherkins?
No, it's a whole different process, but I'll tell you exactly what they are. Subway and McDonald's has them. So if you get pickles from Subway or McDonald's, that's dill pickles.
So it's gherkins then?
No. Gherkins are put in vinegar. Dill pickles are put in vinegar. Gherkins are also
water.
Yeah.
Because that's as good as they taste, probably.
No, they're amazing.
Covered in Belle Delphine's bathwater.
Ah!
How to put you off a dill pickle in a minute.
Oh, no, that won't.
I mean, just say the
Nothing
name
will
of
put
it.
me off
I'm
of it.
fine. I don't want a dill pickle regardless
You
of
don't like
bathwater.
dill? Do you not like dill?
Well, actually, you could abbreviate it, but I don't know if that'd be appropriate. Abbreviating dill and pickle into one word.
Just are we talking
Oh
about
god.
DP?
I was just trying to put the first couple of letters together and I didn't even want to say that aloud.
Hey, Nana.
Oh, good. Nana's here to save us all. I promised not to go full perv today, but I'm still going halfway.
Good luck with that. That's never gonna
I have
happen.
to be me. I'm sorry. I can't do it anymore.
It's a promise you can never keep.
I keep all my promises. As Cortana says, never make a girl promise you can't keep.
What? For you to be good? That is a promise you never keep.
I am good. If you really haven't seen me as when I'm bad.
I have, and it's no different.
When I'm good, I'm good. When I'm bad, I'm very bad.
It's like I
You
said,
forget,
no
Kayla,
different.
that on this podcast, Pete is constantly manning the gates of hell.
Keeping
Yep,
the demons
that
at
is
bay.
I am the doomsayer, as they say.
Ah.
Would help if I actually tweeted that tweet out.
No, Nana, there is actually. Well, it depends on what you mean, because pickles here in the UK.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn.
Lynn also knows firsthand.
Yeah, you forget that we've known you for quite a while.
Lynn's gone clubbing with me. She knows firsthand. But everything here that's in vinegar,
words.
everything in here and that's in vinegar is called pickles.
Okay.
I like pickled eggs and pickled onions. I don't care.
And you're fucking gross for it.
Language.
Don't care. That's my one. I need to get it out before we record.
I get to
See, when I say that, I'm essentially doing Steve Rogers reference there.
Oh, language. Can we just pull up the fact that Cap just said language?
I get that reference.
Oh, I love. I think I commented on someone on Twitter and it was like a reference, and I literally used that GIF, and that got more likes than the actual reference itself.
Yeah, I have to say before I read Brent's comment, Pete, your GIF replies get some freaking traction.
To be fair,
Holy
I had
crap.
a picture that I posted up earlier on in the week on Piers Morgan, and that got like thousands of like looks. It was ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
Freaking ridiculous.
And then Brent says pickled jalapenos for the win. Yes.
I'm not even a fan of jalapenos anyway.
I know
so
you are
no.
because you live in the UK and no one in the UK likes anything hot.
I'm a pussy and I can't handle spicy foods.
I like buy stuff that has 3 little chili peppers on it and I'm like, yes, okay, it's gonna be like home. And then it's like nothing.
I don't mind a bit of spice, but not when it's like absolutely kicking my ass.
Yeah, but I was raised on it. Raised by it. So
Molded by it.
So for me, it's not, it has to be like super spicy. Like I had a ghost chili and was like, "Ooh, this is pleasant."
Yeah, I was gonna try and finish that reference off. I'm not going to.
We've said it like 4 times today.
I know, that's why I'm not going to.
But all right, chat, you got 9 minutes to arrive.
Because if they're not here, they're really gonna hear that. I've never understood why you do
Those of you listening through the ether, if you're not here in 9 minutes, we are starting.
I'm talking to both my FBI agent and my Chinese agent.
What the hell is this?
What?
What is this?
What are we talking about?
I think Pete's on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter.
Oh, me,
What's
you can't
the
be on
absolute-
Twitter while we're on a show.
I was actually finishing off the tweet from the Rapid Reviews Radio account because no one else did it.
I have been doing things.
Yes, but then I just come across this, and it's the most Scottish thing you'll ever see.
Dear.
Is it
I
Scottish
can see the
Pokemon?
bottom half, but I think that's all I need to see.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Why is that a what? Okay, there's a few things I'm very confused
What
about.
the hashtag? That is the most Scottish thing you'll ever see.
That's what we say here. We say shirts F.
Well, it's the same. It's the same thing.
Oh right, tops F. That's what we say. Tops
Yeah.
F. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that
Also,
that Ciaran
why?
looked at it and just laughed. It was just like, yep, that is Scottish. I know it. I better get off Twitter because there's clearly some,
we
other
have a
things
show,
going on.
Pete. We have...
No, there was no. Also, I don't want to know what's going on in the Formula
maybe
1.
something going on. I don't know.
This is a bit rich coming from the person who in our planning meetings used to play the frickin' Xbox all the time, and then the one time that I decided to play the Switch, she went, "I'm gonna cut this conversation short."
No, I cut it short for a different reason. But
I know, but
meetings
it's
are
my
different.
easy excuse.
Planning meetings are different. You have 7 minutes to enjoy
Planning-
Twitter.
I'm sorry, but planning meetings aren't different at all. They're not different.
We have an audience to serve.
Yeah, and we're just waiting at the moment for people to.
Reading
fill-
Twitter
fill
while they
our in.
can't see it is not serving our audience.
But I was doing the tweet from the account, which should have been set up on the OBS for
Yeah, we
friggin'
gotta
ages,
do
to
that.
be honest. So
We've got
I did
to
the
do
other
that.
I did the other day, and I'm not sure why it didn't go out today.
I'll troubleshoot it afterwards. We'll figure it out.
Okay, well that's good then.
Now I'm gonna look at Twitter, but only because.
Oh yeah, so I'm in trouble now.
No, I'm
Oh, can I say chat? That's what hypocrisy looks like.
Thank you. Yep.
I'm doing the. Oh, yep. Brent, you have 8 minutes. Breakfast burrito. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
Brent, if
I
it helps, imagine you're in some food eating contest, right, and just get it down there.
Joey Pants. What's this? Oh, the guy that eats all the Nathan's hot dogs. Joey. I don't remember his last name.
What?
There's a guy that every year wins the Nathan's hot dog eating.
Yeah. I think I saw that the other day.
Yeah, he wins it every year. Joey something, and oh dear Lord!
Wow,
why-
we've had some random retweets on the tweet from random people that I don't even know who they are because of the hashtags I used. That's cool. Good.
What?
The Rapid Reviews tweet that I put out to
There
say
it
that
is.
we're live, we're doing our pre-ramble
Ooh,
stuff.
It's been
Well, I
shared.
decided to hashtag it with Pod and Family, podcast, Twitch streamers, stuff like that.
Yeah,
And it seems to be getting more impressions
Yeah,
than
it's
normal,
a-
which is cool.
got a couple of retweets there.
That's what I mean, like random retweets from people who aren't even
This is
following us.
learning social media management on the job.
Yeah, see?
So it's just learning as you go along.
Well, this is exactly what
Learn
I'm trying to
as you
teach
go.
you, Ciaran, before you go back into your into the real world. Trying to show you engagement and how it works. Because clearly only one of us on Twitter gets engagement above the thousands.
Chestnut, is that his name? Joey Chestnut. Yes, that's right, Joey Chestnut. Yes. I'll tell you who I used to prefer. I used to love watching. Now I'm kind of grossed out by it, but this is when I was a kid. Kobayashi. Oh my gosh, he was like.
You fool.
What?
What?
This is episode 87, isn't it?
What? What'd you say?
This is 87 this week.
Yeah. Did I put it?
The tweet's 86.
Wait, it wasn't me! It wasn't me! It was Pete!
I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot.
Fool, Pete.
It was
Yep.
Pete this
To
time!
think we got all those retweets and for nothing.
Clearly, I was testing you, Ciaran. You won. You won.
I have to admit, it's Pete's first mistake ever, but still.
Yeah, it's because I got YouTube ninnying on at me and fucking both my ears whilst I'm trying to tweet. I forgot it was even there for 10 minutes.
All those retweets. People will be coming at this expecting us to say episode 86, and then they will leave having felt they've missed out on something.
Oh,
Some
I
might
see.
even lose their minds. Pete might come in here 87 and think, I've missed a week of my life. Have I been in a coma for a week?
You are the cause
probably have.
of psychosis this week.
But yes, Tolos haven't arrived yet.
Sorry, do
4
one of
minutes.
you want to handle the Twitter? Oh wait, Kylie, that's your job in the first place anyway.
I tried.
Perfect.
Wouldn't happen if someone already done their job.
Now, Brent, do you recommend I play Warframe with controller or keyboard and mouse? Help me out here.
Or both.
Ooh, small burrito dinner. Oh man, I really want burrito.
Oh, I've got
Burrito
pins
means tiny donkey, by the way, Brent. If you didn't know that.
I have pins and needles in my bag, so this is not good. Oh dear.
Oh, I hate that. Have you been leaning on your legs by any chance?
No, I've just been kind of chilling. My foot's been in there. So, well, it's not been in there. My toe itself has been off the ground, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
Nana, I did see that. God, yeah.
I have
Yeah, I know.
terrible
We even
feet
noticed it live on, like, the other day. I was literally just scrolling through and just saw it. I went, yeah, Nana's made clips, brilliant. It was great.
Wait, I'm not.
Brent, I like controller. The game has lots of customization for sensitivity and such.
Has it got like next gen enhancements? Because if so, I might just play it in Xbox.
I would imagine it's something that
Lynn.
they're coming up with at the moment.
Nana's clip of me, which sounds terrible. I don't mean that like, ooh, watch this clip of me. No, I mean, it's about catfish noodling. So you should watch it, because I talked about catfish.
Yeah, and how
Who's
she like
fish with the face of a cat? For those of you that don't know.
Cat face, he has the face of a cat. Cat face. Go watch that
Brent,
video.
technically,
That's a
it's
fun video.
Little Burrow, which are slightly different from donkeys.
Okay, fine.
You just got
Mr.
schooled on it.
Pedant. Pedant. See, I call them pedants.
I was trying to be smart, and yeah, I just
No.
got corrected.
You missed
Perfect.
my joke, though.
Yep,
I
love
said
it.
pedant.
I heard it. I just chose to ignore it.
That's not how you say it. You're supposed to say it pedant. But I say
No,
pedant to piss off the pedants.
Language.
There's a little window.
Alright, Steve.
I got that reference.
Yeah, because we told you it was the first time we gave the reference.
Yeah,
I
only
made
10
the
minutes
reference
ago.
then too. I was referencing back to the reference.
Oh.
Nobody listens to me, chat. Nobody listens to me.
Well,
Let's see.
it doesn't help that it's slightly cut out as you were ranting there.
Did it? Oh.
For me, it did.
Nana, if you're still there, would you mind posting the link to the clip so that Lynn can watch it?
Yeah.
And yes, Brent says it's Series X enhanced. Oh, that's right. Brent
And
says,
he lived in
I
Mexico,
lived in Mexico for a month. Remember? Yes.
Yes, he did. So,
Yeah.
yeah, in actual Mexico, not American
Not
version
Texas.
of Mexico.
Pretend Mexico.
Yeah,
Mexico
That
with
fake-
extra steps.
that fake ass Mexico.
Although there's some people that would highly disagree with you.
You call it Mexico, some other people call it wall territory.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Right, it's past. Shall we
Is
get
it?
going?
Alright. Should I drink
I mean,
or-
right, just as we've reached the time, we've got like 9 people here now, so like,
Yeah,
Holy
I think-
crap.
Yeah, I think
clearly,
it's been-
Kiley, your calls to the void have worked.
yeah, it's done the job.
My
which is
what?
great.
It's definitely not Pete's broken tweet.
Well, clearly not.
I said broken, it's just
Also,
Not right.
hang on.
Error, it's just wrong.
it's just incorrect.
Incorrect. Yes. Alright, I gotta.
Yes, it was incorrect. But isn't that some of the joy of it? That I'm a human being.
Oh gosh. Perfectly imperfect.
There you go. Just like this podcast.
That is the theme of this podcast. That's for dang sure.
Well, it has been since day one, Kylie. Let's not beat around the friggin' bush here. I mean, the fact of the matter was, it took me about half an hour to even
in the
get
tweet.
Yeah. It took me half an hour to even
he
get
silly?
hold of you. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
We are razzing on Pete because he put the wrong.
I put the wrong episode number in. That's what happens after 86 of them.
And it's gonna make everyone not show up. It's totally
Mhm.
Pete's fault.
Oh yeah, it's so my fault that we've got more people than we usually do. Yeah, the minute we say episode 87, they're going to be like, right, I'm out. See you later.
Like, hold
Right,
on a minute. This isn't 86.
it's, what happened?
Pete, you're due to get cancelled is all I'm saying. Just wait.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I should have been cancelled.
People hate liars and deceivers.
No, honestly, I probably like for some of my GIF reactions on Twitter, I probably should have been cancelled.
Oh
See, already, Deadbeat's contemplating it, Pete.
I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
I forgot we have chat battle. I did forget.
Oh, the chat battle. Like, to be honest, I better make sure that I'm not focusing on this too much because we have got a show to make.
We do have a show. We have a great show.
Yes. I need to wisen up because I'm going to be reading.
Right.
Yes,
Okay. Well, let me address this quickly beforehand. Deadbeat Punk, I apologise for the mistaken tweet.
Oh gosh.
It was never my intention, and I apologise profusely about the error.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm gonna have to take a week off from social media as a result.
Oh no! You have to make an apology video on YouTube with like a sad face and say,
You know what I say?
For the fans.
I think
What you mean the one where you huff at the beginning of it? It's just like.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I'm sorry.
I think
Clip that and
Pete,
put it up. That would do.
Pete, I think I speak for chat and Twitter when I say, good effing riddance. We need.
What, me being off Twitter?
I think you going away for a week, Pete, is enough penance for your crime. Your crime of misnumbering today's episode on social media.
Oh god.
I've tried to get off Twitter for long enough, mate. That ain't gonna help.
It just brings you back in.
Deadbeat Punk, but there was a single tear forgiven. I tried. I can't cry. I'm like Roger. I can't cry on cue. American Dad references.
Yes. The only good, well, it used to be good.
Yes.
American Dad used to not. American Dad's not great now, but it used to be really
No.
good. And Roger's my favorite.
I'm going. I've basically been going back through it because it's on Disney Plus, and I've got to the end of the 4th season, and I'm like, I'm stopping.
That's when it starts.
That's where it starts sucking.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, there should be. Start this now.
Yep. Okay. So start your recording in.
Yeah.
Oh crap!
3.
Hold on, I wasn't ready. What?
You should always be ready.
No, I'm not a Boy Scout. It's an American thing. Sorry.
Right.
I know what the Boy Scouts are. Right. Everyone ready?
Oh yeah.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Start
your recording in 3, 2, 1. Now.
We have to clap, don't we?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're not.
that's yeah, it's crashed it. Let's crash it. That's it.
Oh no.
I don't know. It's as if since I started doing this, that my laptop is not having it.
It's not having fun.
Yeah. Right. So let me close Audacity. 2 seconds.
Right. So Kylie, just restart your file because we don't need that one.
I'm just gonna wait till Ciaran's ready.
Live technical difficulties. Folks.
Yeah, you gotta love them, right?
You rarely see this.
Yeah, so unless you watch this show.
So I screw up tweets. Kylie is Kylie, and Ciaran has technical issues.
What does that
Excellent.
even mean?
I
And
mean,
we missed all of that, Kylie.
let's not put me in the same bracket as you, who misnumbered an episode. That's but you know, Pete, we are not the same.
Ciaran,
but you take
Ciaran
up more.
doesn't have to make an apology video on YouTube.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Who
I should
am
be
I?
good.
Okay, hold on.
I should be good now.
You're that guy from Scrubs who literally shouts, "Who am I?"
Yes. Uh-oh. That was...
Right. I am ready to go whenever you tell me.
Okay. Sorry, I was having a drink.
Don't give him that power.
Wetting my balls off.
I don't need that visual ever in my life, ever.
Okay, you've had it.
No, I'm going to drink now.
Carry on.
Okay, and we need to do this.
Right,
Yep.
So start the recording in 3, 2, 1, now. Everyone good?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so ready for the clappage.
Clappage.
Kylie is poised and ready, I like to see. Ciaran's flamencoing, as like last week. So, remember, 4, 4, then you go, yeah. God, Kylie, concentrate. Hello. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thanks.
There we go.
With passion, Ciaran. I love it. Always.
It's always good to throw a bit of bravado in here and there.
Oh yeah, of course. It makes it more personable rather than the usual 1, 2, 3.
A bit distracting. Oh my gosh. Debbie. Betty Swallocks. See, now that should be my name in roller derby.
It should have been.
Instead of Kylie Coyote.
Yeah, but you probably didn't understand.
I didn't name
what the hell
myself.
no, you probably didn't even know what that even was until a couple of years ago.
No, I was very confused, especially when they were like dogs bollocks, and I was like, okay, and I was like, why is dog balls like a good thing? And then they were like, well, I don't know, and then bollocks, which was the bad thing.
It's like the way in America you used to say it's the cat's pajamas, and it's like, well, they don't wear pajamas.
Cat's pajamas compared to dog balls? Maybe.
Well, how absurd! Cats don't wear pajamas.
Yeah, but dogs actually have balls. So
not all of
some
them.
do.
Only 50%.
Some do. That's what I said. Some do.
And then that's the ones that keep them.
Yeah, we're not talking about neutered dogs. Right? Let's not.
Betty Swallocks is really good.
Right. We're moving on from Betty Swallocks.
Oh yeah, we have a show to do, don't we?
Oh.
Okay, Deadbeat, your Swallocks distracted me.
That's Deadbeat abusing his chat power, since he's now #1 chat member. He's
Okay.
alpha chat.
Oh gosh, he is alpha chat. Instead of Chad. Pete, count me.
The chat Chad.
Yes, the Chad, yes!
I'm trying to, but I'm trying to compose myself for a moment because Jesus.
Pete, it's easy. See, it's easy, Pete. Just go.
Not everyone has that ability, Ciaran. Not everyone has that ability. But anyway, right.
I don't, because
Okay.
everything is just bleh. I can't hide anything.
Starting the show in 3, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to episode 87 of Rapid Reviews Radio. I am your co-host, Kiley Wild, and I am joined by my two favorite people in the whole wide world, Pete Beckett.
Yo.
And Ciaran, our newest addition.
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Okay.
It's going to be every week. It's going to be a whole new thing, isn't it?
Well, that's your time to shine. It's the time to show your little bit of personality that you don't show otherwise.
I mean, I was motioning off my Spanish, but...
Your Spanish personality.
Fair enough.
Goes with the flamenco dancing. But
It does.
We have a really good show lined up today. This week, I guess. We have decided to do a news roundup. We do these about 1 to 2 times a month, depending on the length of the month. And it gives us a chance to just kind of catch up on the news stories that are out there, the video games news stories, and bring them to you, our lovely, lovely, beautiful listeners who are listening to us on the podcast, but also live here on Twitch at twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. Come join us. We have literally the best chat on the planet. I love them, and they're all my BFFs forever.
The ones roasting me about wrong tweets, but carry on.
Yes, and if you've also been out there in social media land, you'll see that Pete put out a tweet with episode 86 instead of 87. And the only reason we're dragging him is because he never makes mistakes.
That is a horrific blunder that we are deeply sorry for.
Yeah, I'm appalled at myself for making that blunder, but like I said previously, not my job.
Yes, but he will be releasing an apology video on YouTube later in the week.
I already did. I'm just going to take the clip from Twitch and just post it, and that's it.
But the vibe here is great. We're having a great day. But we are going to launch into today's show. And
There's a lot to cover.
There's a lot to cover.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pull up the document. Because there
Why
it
didn't
is.
you do that already?
I do have it up, but I have a million tabs open. So.
Who's prepared now?
I'm always prepared. I'm a Boy Scout. So we're gonna launch straight into today's episode. Ciaran is going to take over a little bit here.
Ciaran, Ciaran has taken the responsibility for this week, meaning that I've had technically a week off.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
News editing.
I have indeed collated some news stories from this week that I found interesting, that we found interesting, with a few big ones in there that we'll get to near the end, which we'll discuss in more depth. But first, we've got some smaller ones. Yes. Kiley, I don't know if you've got anything else to say, or if you want me to just
you kind of took it. You kind of took it and ran, which I'm okay with. But yeah, why don't you let us know?
Take the balls by the horn and do your thing. Just crack on.
So first thing we'll be discussing is we've got a couple of game announcements this week that we spotted. First being a new Company of Heroes game, which RTS fans might have been happy to see that it was announced this week. Sega and developer Relic Entertainment unveiled the latest entry in the series, Company of Heroes 3, which is due to release on PC in 2022. This will be the first time we've seen a new game in the acclaimed World War II RTS series since 2013, which is set to take place in the Mediterranean theatre of war, with a focus on Axis-occupied Italy and North Africa. Now, I like my strategy games. Right. I can't say I'm too big on RTSs. I'm starting to get into them, playing games like Total War now on my PC. But yeah, I've heard this one especially is well known, it is well liked. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure a lot of fans of that series will be very happy.
I was gonna say the general vibe seems to be very like people were expecting this and hoping for it, which is always good. That's always good for a fan base. But I found it interesting, just randomness, that they've gone with the Mediterranean theater of war as opposed to the Pacific. But because I don't know. Again, we brought this up before. It seems to be that a lot of the enemies now in games are going to be your World War II Axis powers, and this flows perfectly in line with that. So I don't know. I think it's good. I think they're going to deliver to the fans exactly what the fans wanted.
Yeah. And for those of you that are interested in it, you can sign up to try out the alpha, which is either out right now or will be out very soon.
Very good.
They're putting a lot of emphasis on community feedback from that and helping make the final product. So if you'll be part of that process, make sure to go over and check out how to find out and join the alpha for Company of Heroes 3.
Excellent.
I mean, is it just me, or is RTS games having a massive resurgence recently?
I mean, RTSs are popular anyway, I feel.
They're always around, always.
I mean, I think.
Yeah, but I'm talking about all those classic series that are were synonymous with 90s RTS games. They're now starting to make a comeback, like Command and Conquer and Age of Empires, all that sort of thing. It just feels like we're going back to the 90s or the early 2000s, where it was like the heyday, let's call it.
Yeah, but again, as we've mentioned before, we are on nostalgia timeline, so.
Oh, of course.
It works perfectly.
Maybe discuss that later on with a certain thing, but we're not spoil it.
Oh yes, that's right.
Oh yeah,
I'll spoil that right now. Yeah.
Nope.
Moving on then.
Yeah. So the next big one that I definitely felt was worth a mention was Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
Yes.
This killed the internet for a bit.
Which is Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is, to summarise, basically it is Smash Bros with all of your favourite Nickelodeon characters, with the trailer showing off the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy.
2 of the Ninja Turtles, not all 4.
Oh, right, okay. Thank you, Pete, for correcting me. And we got other characters such as Nigel Thornberry and
the meme master
Danny Phantom.
himself.
So yeah, it's something I never thought I wanted, and now it sounds like a whole lot of fun.
I am very excited excited for this, but that's because I am a I'm a Nickelodeon fangirl as opposed to a Nintendo fangirl. All my favorites are on Nickelodeon, so I'm really looking forward to this. But Pete, what about you as an actual Nintendo Smash Brothers? What are your thoughts and feels on this? Is it gonna be a Smash killer?
No.
Is it going to be a smash hit, Pete?
It probably will be a smash hit because it's got some classic characters in there. If they don't include Rocco, I riot.
Oh, I love to see Rocco.
Yeah, exactly. His final smash has to be he picks up a phone and there's some sex worker stuff going on there.
There's also been talk that Avatar: Legend of Aang characters are going to be on there as well.
Oh, that would be
really
good.
That would it would make sense. The thing that I'm more excited about is the netcode apparently.
Right.
Apparently, it's supposed to have a very, very good rollback netcode, which is something that we don't get in Smash-like games. I'll be honest, I hope this plays more like Smash than it does Brawlhalla, because I didn't particularly get along with Brawlhalla that much.
Yeah, I couldn't really get into it.
No.
Everyone it was either terrible or too good.
I like the combat in Brawlhalla. It's just it plays very for a game that was a Smash clone, we'll call it. It was very different from being a Smash clone, and they shouldn't have advertised it as one. They should have advertised it as its own thing, but they were clearly trying to copy off of that. This looks interesting though.
I'm way into it. I'm very excited.
I think Powdered Toast Man is going to be my main for sure.
Powdered Toast Man.
I mean, if they don't bring out the iCarly DLC pack later in the game's life cycle, we will riot.
That would be cool.
Oh
I mean, I think Rugrats are going to be into it somewhere.
But they can't. They can't do Drake and Josh.
No, the thing is for me,
why not, really? Yeah, I don't know if we should mention that.
Let's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, for me, I'm concerned why they've included Ren and Stimpy.
Why? That's where Ren and Stimpy originated. Then went over to MTV, but Nickelodeon owned MTV at the time.
What, considering the absolute scumbag that the creator is?
I love Ren and Stimpy.
I don't care.
The art from the artist.
Yeah, you can do that, but I'm surprised Nickelodeon wanted that. That's what I mean.
Nickelodeon's full of some questionable things.
Yeah, I'm aware. We won't talk about what's his name. Dan Schneider, is it?
No, well, Snyder. Yeah, that's one of them, and then I forgot the.
But this is going well off topic anyway.
Yeah, that's a different topic.
Yeah. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl used to be a fun little trip down memory lane.
Kylie, you see how he keeps us on track?
Like somebody's grown up.
I didn't catch if there's a release date yet. It probably is. I don't know.
Fall 2021.
There we go then.
Okay.
So as well, guys, if you want some engagement, those of you in chat right now and those listening, let us know what characters you'd love to see come to it as well.
By the way, consoles that were confirmed for this were Xbox One, Series X, Series S, PS4, PS5, Switch, and PC.
Oh, it's gonna be
fun. Stadia, I think.
But did they say cross-play?
I don't think they did.
Oh, it'd be wonderful
but
if they could
it would. I really hope they do, because that would be cool. But it might be quite difficult to implement, especially if they've got rollback on it.
I do want to say before we move on to the last of let me pull my.
Well, the new stories themselves.
Yeah, because the last one's gonna be Yeah.
Someone can't read a document.
Shut up. I can't read. I never learned to read.
Oscar speech.
But I just wanted to say that chat is asking us to add something, so we'll add it right at the end of the smaller news stories. Because chat gets what they want, because they provide us with memes.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
Well, we might as well talk about it now, because it is
okay.
I mean, we have got a lot of stories to cover today.
Yeah. Well, I just wanted to call attention to it that as Brent, our resident Warframe champion,
bearing in mind, Game of the Decade.
Yes.
Winner Warframe as given by Rapid Reviews Radio, not myself.
Yeah. But it was.
That was so much like a small print. That's so fast.
That was the point. That was the point.
As a disclaimer, But Brent put forth such a good argument; it had to be done.
Yeah.
So right now you can get Unreal Tournament crossover weapons. Holy crap! What?
That it actually is awesome.
And Warframe this week. And
Wow.
Yes.
Game of the Generation.
Yes, and on top of Warframe as well, I think that's what Brent wants to mention, that there was a stream last night where they revealed, I believe, the next expansion for the game,
Yes.
Yes.
as well as the fact that crossplay is coming.
It wasn't just the fact that it was that;
It's
it was the fact
amazing.
that it was all being played live as
Yeah.
they were doing it, which is quite astonishing.
I have to say this: Warframe has consistently had reliable. That's what I mean. Reliable releases that you don't run into a lot of the things that you run into with other online platforms. You know,
Fortnite. What? Sorry.
Good,
I had a cough
good
there.
example right there. Yeah, there's not a lot of lag time, and then they were confident enough to go live with a cross-play against all consoles. That's big. That is big.
It's awesome.
They are consistent, and I do love that. But
Yeah, I do wonder how much they had to pay PlayStation to get it on there, but anyway.
Far too much, probably.
that's
a
another
better
topic.
fish.
That's
Yeah,
another
Yeah,
topic.
we'll come back to that one for sure.
But yes,
Right.
moving forward.
Look, we included Warframe, so no need to riot, Brent.
Yes. Yes.
But
So
yes.
now actually to the news stories that we curated for this week's episode. The first is the BBC, an article about Red Dead Redemption 2. So our first story is that researchers from the University of Exeter found that players in Red Dead Redemption 2 learned how to identify real wildlife and even predict certain animal behaviours just by playing the game. First reported by BBC, the article states that the researchers challenged more than 500 players to correctly identify real animals by looking at the photograph. The study concluded that those who played the game were better at identifying wildlife compared to those who didn't, stating, on average, players were able to identify 10 of 15 animals in a quiz, 3 more than non-players. While that may sound impressive on its own, some players were also able to go a step further and demonstrate a greater knowledge of animal behaviour and ecology. This was characterised by one individual in the study who claims that Red Dead Redemption 2 taught them how to tell when a ram was about to charge. Some also came in handy in their real life. I think the quote they used was something like, no joke, save me from breaking a leg, or something like that, they said, the person.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, the article goes on further to discuss the idea that games are becoming more and more immersive, and how developers are using new technology to create virtual spaces where players can not only have fun, but learn at the same time without even knowing it. So yeah, I thought this story was really interesting just because, again, it brings back the topic of games being useful and not a detriment to youth and all of that, you know. But, you know, what's your guys' thoughts on this?
It's a tool for education, or education tool.
Yep.
I am so on board with this.
Me too. It was kind of what I was listening to yesterday when I was watching a video with. I don't know if you've seen this, Ciaran. It might be a little bit before your time. Kiley, you might not have seen this over in America, but it was called Fun Candy, which is a documentary by a guy named Ian Lee. But he actually got to talk to Alexei Pajitnov, the creator of Tetris, and that was one of the things he was saying is about pattern recognition and all that sort of thing was a very, very good tool for that. And this is essentially basically the same thing that what we saw there.
Yeah.
But, you know, graphically a lot more sound.
Well, I like what Brent said here in chat. I passed a pop quiz in history class because I played COD the night before. That's the thing.
Nice.
That's the thing, like, especially with history. Like,
yeah.
Assassin's Creed and what?
I was staying away from Deadbeat Punk's comment for a minute, but
Yeah,
I want to ask you.
Deadbeat, a lovely chat Chad as just said, could they use a lasso after playing? Now that would be a real test of video games' capability to teach. If video games could teach you a physical skill, that would be something.
They can, because
VR.
I tell you this, right? Video games taught me how to cock and load a gun and shoot it.
Okay, wait. No,
so when I went to the firing range in Vegas, I was like, I know how to play video games. Bomb, done. I was good.
That's great footage. The guy's like, hey pal, you ever used the gun before? Just like, yep, many times.
I played video games.
No, this is not supposed to be violence in video games related. No.
I was in a shooting range. I said I was in a shooting range.
Don't make the parallel.
What I think, right, let's not dwell on the fact that it's firearms and weaponry here, right? Let's dwell on the fact that Pete has learned a transferable skill from playing games that coincidentally happen to involve violence.
I can load a gun really fast, and in Postal I learned how to shoot lots of people.
So what you're saying is that I've got a tortoise down the back of my garden because of Mario. I'm now going to jump on its head.
Yes.
No, not at all.
He's played so much Mario, can now jump 10 feet in the air.
I wish I could, mate, honestly.
Oh, God.
The amount of stuff that I get away from just by jumping 10 feet in the air.
No, but in all seriousness, one what Brent was talking about, though, about using Call of Duty to pass a pop quiz in history, he also mentioned Assassin's Creed, which that same BBC article did actually cite with relation to Discovery Tour. Which, those of you who don't know, Discovery Tour and Assassin's Creed is a new thing with this kind of new open world Assassin's Creed trilogy they've got going on just now with Valhalla, Odyssey, and it's basically you get to go around the map in Assassin's Creed, each respective game obviously, and each area has its own guided history tour.
I love that.
And
I think that's a great idea, actually.
And I know you can buy that separately. I know schools and stuff, that's why they made it the separate version. Schools can buy up the Discovery Tour on its own and use that as a learning tool.
How much does it cost?
I think it's like half the price of normal games. So a normal game's like 50 odd. I think Discovery Tour's 24ish. I think the number 24 is in my head for some reason.
Well, it'll be 70 quid now because of the next generation versions.
So yeah, I think this as well, because I think the article mentioned that Red Dead Redemption 2 simulates over 200 species and subspecies of animal.
There are loads in that game.
Like that's the fact that in this study people are able to identify, I think they say on average 10 out of 15. You know, those could have been subspecies. I think some of the ones identified were subspecies. So like, oh, that's a wait-tailed deer. That's you can't. Anyone can say, oh, that's a deer. But I think the point was that the people who undertook this study could identify more specific types of wildlife.
Yeah.
And that's basically, again, that one guy that said he knew how to tell when a ram was charging him, and it ended up saving him a hospital trip.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is I think that's the most impressive part of it, because clearly there was an amount of detail that, like, a ridiculous amount of detail that went into Red Dead Redemption 2, and clearly, like, the landscapes alone were enough. But then you look at all the wildlife patterns, it's like something. It really is something else, and you can see why they spent so long creating the game. It's just a shame that the game wasn't very good.
Chat's brought up an interesting point that I want to share for our US listeners.
Damn it, Kiley.
What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Just avoided that bait so badly.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine, because I think it's probably for the best.
No,
I said it was a shame. It was a shame that Red Dead Redemption 2 wasn't very good.
Oh yeah, but I know your feelings on that, and I don't share them. So.
I know. I tried.
I
that
have
was
my
what I was
own
going
mind
for.
and my own opinion.
Which goes with the hive mind of everyone else usually, though.
No, it doesn't.
With Red Dead Redemption 2, it does.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption made me cry. Nothing makes me cry.
I'm the outlier here, clearly.
Yeah, no, I cried like a baby at the end, and I don't cry.
You definitely are.
I know.
But Lynn in chat says, as long as people don't learn to drive through these games, which she's saying is a funny thing. They probably
do.
But no, here, I gotta make a point, because we do not have this in the US. So I had to take my driving test over here, obviously, because I had a US license. Over here we have this thing called a hazard
perception.
Thank you. Thing. And I failed it the first time because I was clicking too fast. But what it is you're in this like 3D
video games.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh, okay, there's a hazard, and then it was like not registering my clicks. But the point being, it's like a 3D environment, and you're driving through, and then you have to click when you see a hazard or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that that's going to become more of a thing.
It probably
in the
will.
future. Yeah. Even though I despise it.
Yeah, they should have informed you beforehand that you were pointing out hazards, not trying to drive-by shoot people.
My little cursor was clicking like crazy.
On that topic of learning to drive via games, though, there was a story like a few years back of that young guy who played on the actual simulation controller, where it was like the actual handle to play racing games, and he beat professional racers. In a fight.
No,
in a race. I was going to say a fight. In a race.
I'm sure there was someone.
It's like a car fight.
No, I'm absolutely certain there was someone who used software basically to pass their driving test by doing it all remotely like that.
Yeah, so like they hooked up like some visual in the car, so the car was essentially automated. It was like a motor car, but a normal car. And this kid was driving it from his controller, and he beat professional racers.
I will tell you.
Massively impressive.
That is very impressive. I will tell you that in Houston, where I'm from, at the Johnson Space Center, everyone go visit Johnson Space Center. But they have a flight simulator, but it's for landing the spaceship. Mm-hmm. It's Microsoft created or whatever.
Powered by Azure technology.
Yeah, it's so cool. I burst into flames every freaking time, but it is really cool. It's like so in depth, but that apparently is how they teach before they put you in the actual thing. That's how they teach astronauts to land. Well,
unfortunately, bursting into flames is exactly what happens to me if I go anywhere near Texas.
Well, that's true.
Make of that what you will.
I can't disagree with that. Let's see.
So, have we got anything more to cover on this story, or have we?
Yeah, I just think to round it up, you know, if you're playing Red Dead Redemption for a story and that's finished and you've shed all your tears, maybe just go out and take a stroll in nature.
Oh yes.
Go around the map, camp. I don't know, hunt bear and cougars. I don't know. But some
people already do that enough in real world.
Yeah.
But
do that attentively, folks, and who knows, you might learn a thing or two. Clearly,
cougars need love too, but shut up, Pete.
We're trying so hard to derail this, aren't we? Kieran's just straight face the whole time.
But here's the thing: Red Dead is so thorough and so good that I gave up. I have one last thing to accomplish before I've 100% completed it. You have to catch one of each fish species, and there's like 200 of them.
Yep.
And I can't.
Well,
I gave up.
Considering after Friday we know what your fishing method is, I don't think it works in that game, I'm afraid.
Yes, and for those who are listening and don't know, we are talking about our Fridays, as they've been renamed. Mental health check-ins, where we talked about catfish noodling. So please join us on our Friday episodes, where we are now doing tier voting. Anyway, let's move on.
Yes, so the next story we got is that we also got news this week that Netflix is still looking to break its way into the gaming market with the addition of video games to its streaming service.
So Netflix for games won't work anymore when talking about Game Pass. It will actually be Netflix.
Yeah, it won't be Netflix for games, but it will be Netflix games.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, this is something Netflix has mentioned in the past. A recent article from site Bloomberg reported that the streaming giant has hired former EA and Facebook executive Mike Verdu to lead its charge into gaming.
Yep.
Not only this, but they're looking to add games to the service within the next year, which will seemingly be integrated into the already existing app as its own genre, similar to the way documentaries were added in its own genre. If you remember that Black Mirror thing that was interactive, that had its own genre.
Yeah.
So apparently that's how it's going to be integrated. So it sounds like it'll be seamless, but that's yet to be seen. The article also notes that Netflix currently doesn't plan to charge extra for this new addition to the service, which is another interesting point, which we'll get to. The company are also apparently advertising game development related positions in preparation for the addition of this new content, the specifics of which I don't exactly know just yet, I don't know if that's exactly been reported on what those roles are, but who knows? Chat or those listening can maybe inform us. This could be big for Netflix, considering how saturated film and TV streaming services are now with Disney Plus, Amazon, Hulu. You know most of them by now.
Yep. You
Um,
probably have a subscription on all of
HBO
them
Yeah.
as well.
Go.
You probably have a subscription to nearly all of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the addition of games to that service might be what it needs to gain an edge over its competitors. So that's the
That's
my
the
little wrap
summary,
up.
basically.
That's the summary. Kiley,
Okay.
Pete.
I
Thought-
am 100% like, my curiosity is piqued utmost. I want to know how they're going to carry this out. I want to know. I have this really nerdy side that is obsessed with algorithms, and I want to know if they're going to enact the algorithms for their video games as well.
They probably will,
That's
because
just
that's
me,
what they like
yeah.
with their film and TV.
Exactly. They have some of the top of the line algorithms, but I'm like, anyway, that's just me and my weird nerdiness. But I also want to see how they're going to pull this off, especially with not charging more. I think that's temporary. There's no way they're going to do that without,
Well,
long term.
Well, bearing in mind that Spotify, like, I know it's music streaming, but they literally just put their subscription fee up for the first time ever recently.
Yeah, so I'm very curious to see how that goes. I want to know if they're going to be branching into third-party, like, hardware. Like, are they going to offer their own controllers, like, sold by, a third-party thing?
No, not going to happen,
are
I
they
don't think,
gonna-
personally.
Are they... We'll talk about it later, but are they going to join with Steam and have that as a thing? Because Netflix is available on iOS and Windows and Roku.
Android.
Yeah, Android, thank you. I said Roku, but Roku's powered by Android.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's powered by Roku OS, which is probably Android-based if we think about it.
Probably, mostly
Yeah.
is, yeah.
So I am very curious how they're going to pull this off, what it's going to entail, and what is their future plans. And how is this going to affect Game Pass?
I'll answer that question. It'll have no bearing on Game Pass whatsoever. Netflix are a big company. They'll coincide with Game Pass in some way.
Well,
The big difference with this is that Game Pass will have AAA games and Netflix will have whatever the hell they put on their service
That's
that
what I want to know.
won't
That's what I'm
nearly be
curious.
recognizable.
What if Netflix and Microsoft go out on a date and become friends? and
What you mean,
merge?
actually Netflix and chill?
Yes!
I think if it's Nathan said, it'd be maybe more than friends, Pete. I mean,
They will be more than friends. They will be partners
They will-
for life.
Well, that's what I mean. They couple up, but it starts with a Netflix and chill, does it not?
I wonder if that is the goal.
It might be.
You can kind of see it. There's.
I just don't know how this is going to work.
They're doing
though.
this. They're doing this to partner with someone, is what I'm saying. It looks
Yeah, they're putting the
big
feelers
picture.
out for someone.
Big picture here.
I just don't know how this is going to work. Like, logistically, the only thing that doesn't
That's why.
sit
That's
with
why.
me
mhm.
is the whole controller fit situation.
That-
Is that
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna. This is
Yeah.
to
the
partner
way
with someone.
the way I interpret it is there'll be certain things you can't access it on. For example, and I'm sure a lot of people listening to this and watching right now on a Amazon Fire Stick, you probably won't be able to play it on Amazon Fire Stick for
No,
Definitely
you
not.
won't.
multiple
You will
reasons.
not. Yeah.
But
I
imagine it'll be a thing where if you have the app installed on your Xbox or PlayStation,
Yep.
you've got a controller already set up to that, so
See,
probably some
that's-
integration there.
That would make sense. It's
That's
just
what I'm
those
wondering.
people who are running off of Roku sticks. I myself, I'm on Virgin Media. I can get Netflix through my Virgin channels, so there is no way I'd be able to connect the controller up through my set-top box.
Right. Well, that is one thing I'm thinking, because I'm running a Roku through a projector, but I also have I have Netflix there, but I also have Netflix on my Xbox.
Yeah.
So, but I do want
But
to.
yeah, I was going to say I think that's maybe why they've said at present they're not going to charge
Right,
extra, because
yeah.
if everyone gets charged extra and some people aren't able to access it,
Yeah.
Yep. That's a good
Well,
point.
it's
gonna come out
That's
beta
a
form,
very
basically.
good point,
Oh.
actually. But yeah, I want to go back to chat only because it's makes sense. Dead Beat Punk says it'll be another version of Apple Arcade. I tell you,
That's very possible.
I cannot get into Apple Arcade, and I have it for free right now, and for some reason, I just can't.
Well, pass me your login, and I'll gladly play Clap Hands Golf on it.
It's got Sonic on there too. And
yeah,
then
it's probably a poor Sonic game, which is about 80% of Sonic games, to be honest.
Right now, yeah. But I still feel they'll redeem themselves. But anyway, Nana says, okay, I should be real here. I don't think cloud gaming will work. Here's the thing. Cloud gaming sucks as an entity, but it's the future, and we're going to have to hop on board with it because our corporate overlords are controlling that, and I think that's the way they're going.
I think this is the thing that Nana says. He says, and my worry with Game Pass is that everything becomes subscription-based, which doesn't work for games, in my opinion. Sorry if I send Ciaran into it.
I want to hear Ciaran rant. That would be great.
Look, I mean, Game Pass is factually the best deal in gaming, so let's just there's no argument there. But I think when you look at this move, in contrast to Game Pass's existence, I feel hinders Netflix's advances into that realm.
I agree with that.
Because of how fleshed out Game Pass is, and the fact that I don't see Netflix having the same scale as Game Pass with this, because they are essentially a multimedia service with the addition of this. They have to balance everything. Plus, I know Netflix had money trouble in past.
They did, yeah.
So it's another question of how they're going to fund this as well. But there's many things here, but I think it makes sense. It's why I included the part about Netflix trying to find something that'll give it an edge over other streaming services, such as Amazon and that, because they are just TV and movies.
Right.
So adding a new dimension might entice more people to get Netflix. But as much as gaming is a money-making market, and it is so...
Oh, it's a huge industry.
Yeah, as much as it is a growing industry, it is impressive. There's still that element, I feel, of a certain taboo to it that I don't think entices many people as they anticipate.
But this is why
the games they get, though.
But this is the thing why I think it's going to work with Netflix for them in that respect, because they can gate it off. There are people on the Netflix subscription who will be like, yeah, I want to play games. Okay, there you go. It's included in my subscription. And then you got people on there who are like, I have no interest in games. All right, that's a tab I'll never touch. Fine. But if they had if they were trying to make more interactive movies that were more sort of like games, then that might not appeal to people. Like they did with Bandersnatch. This is why Bandersnatch wasn't viewed by some as decent, because they didn't like the interactive aspect of it.
And there's 6,000 endings or something.
Yeah, but they all lead to the same freaking path. It was pointless. Honestly, the only choice that really matters is the cereal you have in the morning.
But I wonder, just from a business point of view, if they're going to do something more like baby games, like kiddie games, like little... crap games, because that way boomer parents will be like, oh, I can get this Netflix and also entertain my brats.
Oh, you might be onto something, because of the fact that you need games that work with a remote control.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Sky not had something like that for a while as well.
Yeah, they did. The old
Yeah.
Sky Digital games. Oh my god.
Yeah.
See, I'm American. I have no...
Sky is basically a set-top box, basically a subscription service. But back in the day when they first got, it was like in the early 2000s, they used to have games on there.
Right.
And they were pretty bad.
I bet it's something like that.
But they were entertaining enough to keep you busy for like an hour or two.
Right.
So I think it could be similar to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, you go.
Okay, well, I was just going to check in with chat. Let's see. There's already Netflix games on Game Pass.
Yeah,
Stranger
that's true.
Things 3 and Dark Crystal. I didn't know they made
That was
Dark Crystal
that was the first thing that I thought of was Stranger Things 3, because it came out on Switch as well. That they probably include that on it.
But they are a Dark Crystal game. Is it good?
See, that's reminded me of another point I was going to bring up. Right, the fact again, it's the one thing I didn't research too in depth. I maybe should have, but the fact that Netflix are advertising game development related positions.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And we know Amazon is trying to make games.
They've been trying for a long time.
Yeah, I remember there was one on PC called Crucible. I don't know if anyone remembers that. I think that was Amazon. It got taken down. It came out and then it got taken down again.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
went into
never
early
happened
alpha,
before.
didn't it?
Yeah, all the media outlets reported that it's like that's never been done. Like a full game has never been released and then just completely
No, I
like
don't think it
unreleased.
has. But to be fair, like Amazon have been doing this for freaking ages. Because you remember Double Helix Studios, who did the first season of Killer Instinct, then got bought by Amazon halfway through that season, which Iron Galaxy then had to take over in season 2. But we've not seen or heard of Double Helix in a long time.
I know. Is Amazon not making that new MMO, New World? You've probably seen that.
I believe they are.
That one looks to be the one they're hedging all the bets on right now.
Yes.
But that then was the point. If Netflix are starting to hire game development related positions, is it more on the side of them going out and try to build relationships with companies to get games in the service, or are they going to try and pursue making their own?
That's what I wonder myself. I don't see Netflix is not it's not as profitable as something as Amazon. In fact, their profit margins are very, very low because, and this is what's weird, and I won't go on a political rant, I promise.
Oh, man. No wonder I haven't heard of them. Sorry, carry on.
They are actually quite good to their employees. They pay them a livable wage and then give them as much time off as they need, and it's one of those very cool, relaxed, chill environments, where you've got like the extra rooms and stuff to go chill in. So that means that their profit margins are very small. I cannot see them investing in an actual game studio with actual, I hate to say it, but actual talent, actual, like plans. I really feel instinctually that this is we're getting a foothold into the streaming games so that someone will either buy us or we can go into partnership type thing. I think that they're marketing on the name. Whereas Amazon actually could open a game studio.
Well, they did.
Well, I know, but I mean...
Amazon Games Orange County, which is what the now Double Helix is known as.
That's so crazy. Why would you rename it that? Double Helix is awesome.
Yeah, I know, but it was changed from Double Helix to Amazon Game Studios Orange County, and then Amazon Games Orange County.
Should have named it Jeff Bezos' penis rocket to Mars. Game
oh my god.
Ciaran, have you not seen the rocket?
So Netflix is looking to add some games within the next year, which is another surprising thing. So I suppose the sooner we get to that point, we might discuss this again in the future. Yeah, you guys field on that one, because that is an interesting one.
Brent, I'm interested in knowing what you said is the only correct ending to Bandersnatch. But yeah, we'll go on.
That's off topic. But Deadbeat says Microsoft owned Bethesda its Orion technology to really give xCloud an edge over the competition. Yes, I think that is part of why they bought them.
Yeah, I agree.
Microsoft will be leading that. They already lead it with Azure. How do you say that? xCloud. I'll just call it xCloud instead of the proper name. I think that's why, regardless of the fact that cloud gaming sucks as a concept, especially for people who can't be online, I think it's inevitable. Because such a big dog like Microsoft is spearheading the lead on that. That's my personal opinion, but...
Yeah.
Right, well, now we're moving on to the bigger stories. The meat, so to speak. And the first one...
The meat of this sandwich!
Yeah, that was just the bread,
Yeah, that was the bread. We're now putting on all the... putting the sandwich together now. Anyway... Analogy aside,
now for
Valve have finally unveiled their next big project, the Steam Deck. After a few months of speculation,
so much for developing Half-Life 3 then.
Well, who knows? Anyway, after a
Never
few
happened.
months of speculation and rumours, Valve have finally revealed the Steam Deck, a handheld console similar to the Nintendo Switch, built to have the same capabilities as a gaming PC. Valve's new device aims to allow players to play games on their Steam library on the go, running everything from real-time strategy titles to big-budget titles like Jedi Fallen Order. Players will seemingly also have the opportunity to run certain non-Steam games and apps, thanks to Steam Deck's modified SteamOS, which comes with a new UI that should make navigation between the store, games library, everything else a lot easier. IGN were able to get a hands-on preview with the Steam Deck, as well as access to some Valve employees, where they were able to ask questions about the product, primarily about what it's capable of and what kind of hardware it has. When asked whether the Steam Deck is just for gaming, Valve developer Pierre-Luc Griffes, I think I've pronounced that right or wrong, probably wrong, responded by saying it can pretty much run anything you can run on a PC, reiterating the fact that Steam Deck is pretty much a handheld gaming PC, which in itself is impressive. In terms of the Steam Deck's hardware specifications, it will have a 7-inch diagonal, a 1200 by 800 resolution LCD screen with a refresh rate of 60Hz, custom 4-core AMD APU processor, 8 RDNA 2 compute units for the GPU, otherwise graphics, 16GB of RAM, and a 64 to 512GB storage, depending on what model you're getting. Suffice to say, it's a powerful machine. IGN's Tom Marks claims that he was able to play Jedi Fallen Order in high graphical settings with little to no issues.
That is another mention for Fallen Order. Blimey.
Yep. That was the one
Without even mentioning the name that we've called it on this podcast before.
Players can is available for pre-order right now, though I'm pretty sure they have been selling it quick.
Sold out.
Yeah.
Yep. But players that were able to pre-order and get one, and when more are available, players are able to choose from 3 different models, which are graphically identical but distinct with regards to storage size and speed. IGN detailed that the base version will cost $399 and have 64GB of storage. The next model is $529 with 256GB of storage, and the $649 version has 512GB, as well as an anti-glare etched glass screen.
Now, there's something you've missed out in this. That the 256 and the 512GB models are SSDs, not just regular internal storage.
I knew there was something I missed in the specs.
Also, I believe you said it was a custom 4-core AMD processor. I think it's got 8-thread core as well.
I mentioned 8 threads.
No, it's a 4-core, but they're individually threads. So.
Yes, that's correct. But yes, so to put it simply, it is very powerful. It is a remarkable little machine that I, when writing up this little thing, was very surprised by. But Kiley, Pete, what do you think about Steam Deck?
You've missed something else as well.
I'm dying to talk about this. Yes.
You've missed out about the battery life.
I was going to bring that up. I was going to bring it up in discussion, Pete, because that was one of the caveats I was going to bring up. But
sure.
Yeah.
I think it's. Didn't they say it's anywhere between 2 and 7 hours?
Right.
That's
depending
me.
on the resolution that you're playing at.
Yeah. Right. So when it comes to battery life, it claims on average 8 hours battery life. But they did say if you're running a more graphically demanding game, that could drop.
It's exactly the same thing that Nintendo prefaced with the Switch when they were first putting that out, obviously in October, November of 2016. It was like, this will run Breath of the Wild on high brightness, controller attached for 2.5 to 3 hours. It's like, yeah, there's definitely a performance thing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll let Kiley go first. She's itching. She's chomping at the bit, waiting for this. So you crack on.
I am also playing with chat, so while y'all are going on, but no, I'm absolutely okay. When it was first dropped, I was skeptical, obviously, because of course you are, especially with the touchpads being right under the analog sticks. But then someone made a point that you probably won't be using the touchpads at the same time as the analog sticks.
Probably
like,
not,
okay,
no.
yeah, that makes sense.
No, they're there for like if you want to use them, or if
Right.
you've got a game that requires a little bit more precision, maybe.
Well, there's just some of the games that are strictly played with mouse, and that's
My
just how
point
it goes.
exactly, which
Yeah.
is what I meant by precision.
Yeah. I think this is crazy amounts of specs coming out. For a handheld. Holy crap, how long has this been in development? Because holy crap, this is like the full package. No puns, no nothing. It really literally is. And the idea that, I mean, we knew that Steam was going to come out with something because they've been talking about the Steam box and, all this other stuff.
Yeah,
and
the Steam box that was an utter failure.
It was.
Because they had 20,000 companies all producing for it. This one looks like it's unified under the vision of Valve.
I think they learned from their mistake. My thing that I'm absolutely kind of obsessed with at the moment, before we get to chat, is the Nintendo fanboys. Holy crap, why is there a new console war now? They are two completely different machines. And
well, right.
Go ahead.
They have a right. They have a right to be jealous, right? 'Cause that's the thing, right? The big thing for me that comes out of this is what this means for the Switch.
Yes.
Which one thing they said is you can play Control on a Steam Deck.
Right.
Right, on good settings. Yeah, but Nintendo Switch it's streamed.
Yeah, because it's
Whereas on the Steam Deck it is running the game.
Yeah, it's
That's
native.
a very good point, actually.
And as much as it is costly, this machine, it warrants the price, if you ask me.
Yeah.
They have essentially crammed a gaming PC into your hand.
Exactly.
And by the sounds of it, a powerful one at that. Jedi Fallen Order came out like a couple of years ago, and that game has got next gen enhancements and stuff now as well. And you can probably run that in high settings.
Yeah.
On this with no trouble.
And
then you've got the Switch, which struggles to run some third-party games.
At any resolution.
Yeah. So I just think, going back to the fact these Nintendo fanboys starting a war, no wonder they're terrified.
I'm not.
That's one way to see it, I guess. I hadn't thought of. I was like, wow, they're really coming out.
Stupid, to be honest. Like, these are two completely different markets. They should be
That's
looking
how
at
I
it
saw
as
it. Yeah.
I look at the PC market as, it's a good market. It's clearly there for enthusiasts, but this is making it a lot more accessible for some people.
So will this be included, the Steam Deck, will it be included in the PC Master Race?
Well, it has to be. It's a PC.
Yeah, it is a PC, really.
It's a portable PC. It's much like a gaming laptop, except a lot more compact.
I think this will be a very, very cool next couple of years.
Also, you do know that the PC Master Race has now become a meme at this point.
Well, yeah. It was a meme the whole time.
Yeah, but people took it too far, like they did with Console Wars. And there are people on there who are like, Console Wars, who cares about consoles, PC Master Race, and they're not being ironic about it.
I want to talk about, actually, Brent, that's a good point. I'm skeptical.
No, there are some good points that have been brought up all the way through this.
We're definitely hitting chat now.
Yeah.
It weighs over 1 pound.
Yes,
that was
yes,
my
I
thing.
see that.
Okay, so I do a lot of mobile gaming because I'm a dork on my iPad, which is this big, and I have giant hands. The Steam Deck is this wide. It's the same, nearly the same width.
But it weighs a lot more than that, I guess.
Oh gosh, yeah, because this is like feather light. At first, when I saw it, and in comparison, someone put like a Coke can or something next to it, and I was like, okay, that's massive. But then I came back and played on my iPad, and I was like, maybe that's not going to be a factor that's going to turn people off. But I did kind of think that maybe it's hefty, it's thick, and, like, it's not, it doesn't seem ergonomic. But I don't know, I have not held one. Maybe it really is. I don't know.
That's what they were saying in the article, is that it was comfortable. You know,
Oh, well.
there was also many other things that I did see about it. Apparently, they've got buttons going all the way up to L5 and R5,
Right.
which is cool because it means that you've got macro programming on it.
Right.
Uh, Additionally, we didn't really talk much about it. Obviously, is the fact that you said it can pretty much run anything you can run on a PC, meaning
Yes.
you can sideload Windows on there, Linux. You could sideload anything onto it and have that running. This has been mentioned by Deadbeat Punk. This is probably going to be the best emulator machine out there because you'll be able to run CMU at 60 frames for Breath of the Wild, which is quite impressive.
So,
but we don't endorse emulation in any way. Or
okay, that was my next.
Technically.
Okay, that was my question. As far as, because I am into emulation, let's not lie.
Well, I am too, but I had to put a disclaimer on it.
Yeah,
we as a show don't condone it, but we do.
It also is gonna kind of file into our next few topics, as far as game preservation or whatever. But so the Switch is streaming games, correct?
Some games are streaming, like Control Ultimate Edition. Resident Evil 7 was on it. Hitman 3 was another one. And what was there was another game that we've got coming this year that was similar, that was the same. I can't remember what it was. Crap.
You failed me, Pete. No, I'm kidding.
It was announced. It was announced at E3 actually. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh right.
Oh right, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the stream version.
That's a good one.
Okay. Yeah. Whereas.
Oh no, I was going to say, but going back to like looking at these, right? Obviously, we discussed the new Nintendo console last week.
We did.
Yeah, we went to talk more about it.
Yeah. And the fact, Nintendo seem to be doing well, and now all of a sudden Steam have came out, and frankly, shown that a handheld can be incredibly powerful.
This is where I'm going. Yes.
So I suppose the question that feeds off that is, what are Nintendo doing?
See?
No, this was the thing that the Nintendo fans were hedging. These are the Nintendo fans hedging on this, was the fact that it only runs at 800p. Resolution 800p, but yeah.
Does this light a fire under Nintendo? That's where I was headed.
No, absolutely not. I think anyone who thinks that is a console warist and is a kind of a moron in my eyes. No, for me, this it doesn't do anything else other than it is a PC. It is for PC gamers. It's for those who don't have PCs that are accessible enough to play games, like myself.
But if you're gonna drop 600, you can drop 600 on a decent PC.
Well,
maybe they like the convenience.
Yeah.
Not building a PC and actually having it with a dock and a screen and all that sort of thing. They can do pretty much anything they want with it at that point.
I was about to bring that up because IGN did ask them,
for most.
Yeah, they did ask them about if it's come with a dock similar to Switch. They said it is, but they've not got a timeline for it as of yet.
Right.
The dock.
So eventually,
so you will be able to
So it's
dock
strictly portable at this point.
But the fact of the matter is there are third-party docks out there that will work with this too.
Yeah.
Like they do with the Switch.
So by the sounds of it, it is a great deal because you are essentially buying a £600 or nearly £700 on PC.
Right.
That
it's portable.
It probably performs a lot better than an actual normal £700 PC.
Yeah, my PC was 400. It can't run games for crap.
I think when I've been doing PC hunting, like if you had to buy a brand new gaming PC that you have to custom build yourself, it'd be like £1,000.
Yeah, minimum.
Yeah, and like that probably.
No, if you're buying
kit in it.
Yeah, that's if you're buying everything. But that's if you're buying everything brand new. It's probably going to be around about that price point, and especially with games running like. You want the SSD, you want games running ray tracing and 60 frames performance modes and all of that. You're going to need probably a 30 series like graphics card for that minimum.
30, Ti.
Exactly, and and you can't buy those for love nor money at the moment outside of a pre-build.
But no, you can buy them. They're very difficult to get hold of.
Trust me, I have looked. You can't find them anywhere.
I think you forgot.
It's like my friend's got one. People to grab one.
I just meant a normal person cannot buy them for love nor money.
Yes, I make things happen, especially with graphics cards. But yeah. So, but I still think. I mean, I do hear you, Pete, and I think it's all valid and everything. I still think though that this is going to make Nintendo go, holy crap. We've got to provide a strong, a more powerful.
No, because I think they already had. I think they already have, and they're bringing it out next year.
Oh,
they're
right.
Already,
I see what you're saying.
They're having a Switch Pro version. You know full well that it's going to happen eventually.
Well, I keep saying that. People keep blowing me off. So.
They have already tasked developers.
Have you just not contradicted it from last week? I'm pretty sure last week we were talking about this. You said, "Oh no, we're not going to get another one for at least a couple of years."
Till 2023. That was what
yeah,
you
but
said.
I did say that, but it's now with this. I think it will expand the timeline a bit, like a lot sooner to try and get it out for Christmas next year, possibly.
Okay, so what you're saying is that
I just think that the Switch Pro wasn't going to come out at this point this year because they hadn't given developers enough time to up-res their games to 4K at that point. They'd only put the job listing available like beginning of this year.
But now that this is out, do you think they're going to speed up the timeline? Is that
more than likely?
Okay.
More than likely.
Okay, I can get behind that. I actually can get behind that.
Yeah, I think if this hadn't come out, we wouldn't have that issue at all. I think they would have stuck on point with their mid 2023, but this will mean that they have to release in 2022.
This is the whole. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Absolutely.
How I see this, right? So is my kind of like parting thought on this story anyway. Yes. The way I see this playing out, I don't see this overtaking Switch by any means. I see it being popular. I don't see it as the definitive Switch killer, let's say.
Right.
No.
I don't think it will. Purely because of a few things, notably Switch's price point in comparison.
Yep.
Big key.
I think Switch as well. Switch excels at being a bit more niche than standard consoles. I.e. the fact that Nintendo have some phenomenal games that you can only get.
Yeah, I think so.
That is very true.
And again,
it's not about the first party offering with Steam, is it?
Yeah, and I feel with PC fanboys, I don't think PC fanboys are going to bother too much with this. I know some people probably will, but the point is, PC fanboys will probably already have a good PC and they'll not be too fussed.
Or they have a decent enough gaming laptop that they want to play on the go.
As much as the pre-orders were crazy, much like the next-gen consoles were, I think that's because of the hype around it, how different it is, and also a lot of prominent games journalists and analysts are picking this thing up.
Not even just that, because I've seen a few people in the community on Twitter and such who all like doing teardowns of things like this.
Well, yeah, that's just.
So you're gonna get a fair few people who buy this just to open the damn thing up and never touch it again.
I never understand.
And the fact that the pre-orders, people like depending on how old your Steam account was, you got exclusive access to pre-orders first.
Right.
Yeah.
So already they were limiting what type of people could get this, which is PC players.
Yeah, of course.
So, but then back to the price point as well, it's not going to be something I don't see overtaking next-gen consoles either, because next-gen consoles are cheaper than it.
Right.
And probably perform a lot better.
They do. 100%. But...
yeah.
Oh, I lost my thought. Hold on. It will come back. Keep going, because it will come back.
Well,
it was a good one.
Deadbeat Punk has put eBay have been cancelling scalper listings. Great to see.
Perfect.
Which is good. Nana put the Switch Pro isn't real. Game journalist hyped it up. I think the Switch Pro is real, but it was.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
It was put back.
So it's an AMD chip, correct?
Yes. AMD processor.
So it's the it's chip shortage problem.
There we go. Is that what's contributing to this pre-order
fiasco?
Yeah, that's perfect word.
Yeah, I think they're going to be in very limited supply to start with.
Yeah.
It's very clear to see because they haven't got dock available for this, which seems a bit weird.
Do you think, guys?
And also the fact is that every other console developer, so Microsoft, PlayStation, now Steam or Valve, are now using AMD.
Well,
but Nintendo are the only ones who are using NVIDIA.
Do you think though that any hardware manufacturer, I guess, console, whatever, do you think we're being kind of premature with releasing stuff now? When there's just no definitive timeline for these chips and stuff. It is a chip shortage, and
it seems very weird that all this is happening all at once.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I mean, I think I don't imagine that's their fault, really. We need to remember that these machines have probably been in development for longer than the pandemic.
Yeah,
kind
of
of thing.
course.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
it's not as that way. They've probably, from a business standpoint, they've been investing money into these things, and to then hold off and try to make profit on them doesn't seem feasible, and that's probably why. I mean, as well, like, you can't go this long without getting new stuff, really.
Yeah. Okay, that's actually a very good point. As far as branding goes, you have to constantly release to keep your brand solid and in people's minds. So that's actually a very, very good point. Actually. So even this pre-sales is actually doing good marketing.
Because especially if you think about if Xbox, PlayStation, and Valve did put these machines off until they were able to mass produce more, they would also probably have developers still making games for these machines that aren't even out yet, which then leads to a deficit in games coming out our current gen.
I think this is the difference with Steam having this, is that they at least be able to release on just PC anyway.
Yeah.
So they're not going to hurt their ecosystem that much, really, as a result of potentially having to delay this beyond December 2021, because I guarantee that they'll hit a delay of some sort.
That's the thing. If anything, I do see this as more of an affordability option for those wanting to get into PC gaming.
I agree.
And also for those that like PC gaming, it could be a niche little item for them to play their games on. I don't know. But that's how I see it. I don't see it as leaving a massive impact, especially on Switch, which is essentially its only competitor in terms of handhelds.
It would be.
No, and this is the thing about it, is I think we've sort of banged on about it. It's the first-party software that sells the Nintendo Switch units more than anything, rather than the actual unit itself.
And I know this kind of flows into our not next topic, but the topic afterwards. But I am thinking right quick, like, could Steam theoretically partner up with Sony for their Vita and PSP games and have them released on that?
No, I don't see it happening. I really don't.
Okay, I want to know more. Explain why.
Because Sony want it exclusive to their platform. Why are they going to want to give royalties away
we know how
on this one?
We know how reserved Sony is.
Right.
Sorry?
Ciaran said we know how reserved Sony is.
No, I meant what you said.
But they're closing the storefront down.
Well, the PSP storefront is now closed on the PSP only. It's still available on the PS3 and the Vita.
But
they'll close it. They'll close eventually, but by that point, Sony will see no value in those storefronts at all. So why are they going to want to put it on Steam and then give them money to put them on there?
Because they could still make money themselves. Sony is only about money.
Yeah, but Sony have got so many other divisions that they'll care more about than some old games, because you know what Jim Ryan is like with the old games. He doesn't care about them.
As much as Sony is about making money, they're also all about preserving their quality, as they put it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No, it would also mean that they would have to program another storefront for Steam, and Sony are definitely not going to want to do that.
Deadbeat says Sony have been dipping into Steam already.
Yeah, I know. They've been releasing mainline. They've been releasing mainline games. You really think they're going to host a PlayStation Vita store on there?
If anything, the class that is them trying to get people to get a PlayStation as well. We said, here's some of our older first-party titles.
Yeah.
Maybe consider getting a PlayStation to play new ones.
Yeah. Yeah, but do you really see things like... I could see Square probably wanting to do that, but you look at things like God of War Olympus or whatever the PSP games, they don't care about those games.
They don't care, but they care about money. We have done shows on Sony.
Yeah,
they
I know.
Only care about money.
I know we have, but it for me, what it looks like is it looks like No, they would. That's the problem. They still have to process. They still have to code their own storefront into Steam, because there is no. They essentially have to pull over the storefront from the Vita into Steam and then integrate it. And then they would. But then they still. But the problem is, selling through Steam means that Steam or Valve get 30%. So they're not gonna really want that. They may with the. With the main games on Steam at the moment, they probably have made an arrangement for those. They probably won't have an arrangement for PSP and PS Vita games.
That's exactly what I'm saying, Pete. I'm 100%. Yes, I think there's a special arrangement based on the dadgum court documents that I read in massive detail. I believe that there is an arrangement between Steam and Sony, 100%. I do not think that Steam gets 30% from Sony.
No, of course they don't.
Yeah. Which I think would allow them to flex a little bit into this territory. And that actually goes with what Nana has just said, which is, actually, that's one thing. Do you think Sony will re-enter the handheld market after this move?
Never.
I think that if Sony does handheld, it's going to be through something like Steam. It'll be a third party. I don't think Sony's going to make their own hardware.
I think they got burned so badly by Nintendo, they won't go back into that market again. They won't touch it.
I just don't think they could come up with anything that would compete with the Switch.
Well, they could. They had essentially PS3 games on the Vita that were all PS4 games essentially at that time.
Game Gear versus Game Boy. Game Gear was superior in every single way, and Game Boy outsold it.
Because it's about the first-party output, which is exactly what I'm saying. You know, when you've got someone at the head of your company like Jim Ryan, who does not care about game preservation, you are not going to see those games come out on Steam.
See, that's where I'm thinking it's more of a kind of cast-off. All right, fine, make us a couple of bucks. That's the way I'm seeing it.
Just don't see it at all. Just don't. The money won't make a difference to them in that way, because if it made such a difference, they would keep the PS Vita store open for a lot longer than they are, but they're not.
So, guys, that was the Steam Deck.
No, it's called a debate, Ciaran. I'm happy to agree to disagree on this one and move on.
No, guys, we'll love a good debate here, and we love a little bit of drama, a little bit of argumentation.
Yeah, Ciaran is Doom Guy today.
Heightens the tension. But yeah, Steam Deck, it is certainly, as we've just demonstrated, a very interesting product with a lot of different conversation to be had about it. But yeah, let us know what you think. We'll give our links at the end, obviously. But let's go on to the next story, shall we? This one was specifically requested by our very own Pete. And
I have many thoughts.
Yes. So Pete might help me flesh this one out a bit. But yes, Super Mario 64. A copy of Super Mario 64 sold at auction for $1.5 million. It was reported this week that an unopened copy of Super Mario 64 broke records at an auction after being bought for $1.5 million. Despite launching with the N64 games console in 1996, the Super Mario 64 cartridge astounded auctioneers and gamers alike with how much it inevitably sold for. The Super Mario 64 copy came with a certification from Wata Games, an authentication company, which gave the cartridge a 9.8 A++ rating, meaning that the game is like new, with its sealing intact and overall condition near perfect. Heritage Auctions, who auctioned off the game, announced the sale after an early production copy of 1987's The Legend of Zelda sold for $870,000.
Now, there was a reason why this early production copy of Legend of Zelda sold for that amount of money, was because of the labelling. Yes. There was something to do with the labelling on it that it was completely different from the second run, and they were in very, very short supply.
Yes, that's true.
Mario 64, I'd have never heard any of these reproductions for, ever. They've never, ever, ever had a reproduction due to an error on the box, an error in the manual, or something to do with the sealing. So, there is something unusual about this. And a lot of people have surmised, and I would probably go with this, is being fraudulent in some way.
Right, okay.
I mean, Pete was certified though.
Yeah, what do you mean by
What
fraudulent?
What games have certified that the game is a 9.8 A double plus rating. However, a lot of people have inevitably looked at Wata and have seen that they have been involved in some dodgy practices in the past.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah. It has been it's no it's no secret that the pre-owned collectible market when it comes to video games has had a massive boom in the last few years.
Nostalgia, right?
It's the nostalgia thing more than anything.
Am I right?
Oh yeah, for sure. But the sealed collective market has gone up massively as well, which is not what people have been talking about that much. I mean, over the last 6 months, we.
Oh no, Pete, come back!
Oh dear.
Pete, we
That's not
lost
good.
you. No, we lost you mid-rant.
Pete was our expert on this topic. Oh god.
I know. What are you gonna do?
Right. Well, Pete comes back to land of the living. Kiley, what do you think about this little story?
I think it is interesting. We got an F in chat. Yeah, let's get an F in chat for Pete.
Yeah.
He will be
We
back.
had 3 big auctions. So mail here.
Oh, Pete.
I was here the whole time. It was you, Crash.
No, you see, us. We're the ones that were here. Even chat.
No,
chat.
I was still here, but
I know.
you know.
You gotta reiterate that entire rant.
Reiterate that last bit of
gone.
your point because we had most of it. We had most. I
Okay.
can't exactly remember where you finished off for us.
So it was yeah, the huge boom in the sealed market has gone up massively. The last few months we've had like you said, Legend of Zelda selling for $170,000. This one sold for $1.5 million. And then we had the sealed Super Mario Brothers, which was a 9.7, which sold for $400 and something thousand as well, which is a huge amount. But I'll let Kiley say what she needs to say about this because I need to find a tweet that relates to this, which I thought was really interesting.
I want to know.
Twitter.
Yes, Pete, navigate Twitter while we're on show. No, I'm kidding.
No, I have to for research.
I know.
I'm supposed to bring this up beforehand.
It's for research. But no, I'm mostly.
Oh, did you see the Tom Hardy tweet? No, I'm joking.
Oh, Pete.
Carry on.
But I'm more blown away. I'm blown away by a lot of these things, but I'm more blown away by who the frick has $1.5 million to frickin' waste on a frickin' video game. Now and now times. There's people starving, the ocean's on fire, rich people are flying into orbit, well, suborbit, and calling it space. What the frick? Who? Why? It's frickin' 1996. What is that, 25 years ago? It's not like it was a golden age comic book. I don't understand.
No, this is the thing that really confuses the hell out of me. This game is from 1996.
Yeah.
It's not exactly rare.
It's 25 years, so it's an antique.
No, and it was a launch game, and it was one of the more popular games for the console.
This is what I'm very confused about. Like, I can go into freaking cash converters or go to some car boot sale. I promise you, I'll find a pristine copy of
a 9.8 A++ pristine copy.
Right. I will certify it myself.
I doubt it.
No, you're never going to find that, but it's still not worth $1.5 million. Like, seriously.
No, that's crazy talk.
That's what I mean. Like, you could understand the Legend of Zelda one selling for $800,000 because it was a first print with an error and still sealed and is still in very, very good condition. But you can understand why this fathoms belief for me.
I'll tell you which one I've understood. Well, I think there was 2, or maybe it was 1. I don't remember. But the Nintendo cartridge, it was like Nintendo Sports or whatever. Pete, you know what I'm talking about? Where there was like only 4 made.
Oh, you mean the NES Championships?
Yep, that one.
Cart. Yeah, the actual prize cart rather than the reproduction cart.
That yes, I'm talking about the original prize. That right there,
Yeah.
I get that. One of a kind, a moment in history, a snapshot.
Absolutely, yeah.
Holy crap, you know? But SMR is 64? What? Please
Yeah, exactly.
explain, make
Like,
me understand.
Okay, the original Mario Brothers, like, don't know why that sold for 400 something thousand, but yeah.
What?
I mean,
I'm very
you can,
confused. I have freaking,
yeah,
I have original boxes and everything, and I don't get it. Like, I could go out and try to sell them. I bet you I might get 50 quid. Might.
Yeah, I don't have too many thoughts on this, being honest. I think it is quite amazing and maybe not a good way that it made so much money
Yes!
and someone bought it for that much. But
crazy.
at the same time, you're seeing things like this crop up more often. Think about Pokemon cards now. People don't
Yeah.
look at Pokemon cards now for the enjoyment of having Pokemon cards. Look at Pokemon cards for the enjoyment of how much money they can make off them.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So,
it is a collectibles market at the moment, isn't it?
yes. So as much as I try and avoid politics, I say I was trying to avoid that study, but yeah.
Go for it.
Like this stuff like this for me is just another byproduct of how far capitalism's come, to the point where people aren't looking at these products so much for the joy value, so to speak. They're more looking at it from a monetary standpoint, and that to me is quite depressing. I'm sure it's neat to own as well. On a simpler note, fair enough, I suppose it's neat to own a very rare edition of something, but end of the day, what are you going to do with it?
Right.
If the point, because I know I'm pretty sure most people try and keep these things pristine when they buy them, but what's the point? Are you then buying it to then sell it again?
That's
I think they are, yeah.
Do you guys know?
What's the point?
Do you guys know the Pharmacy Bro? Do you know who I'm talking about when I talk about that? It's probably an American guy.
I think so.
He's the guy that owns like a particular brand of medicine in the U.S. and then jacked the price up 600%.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Martin Shkreli.
Yep, and he got sent to prison. But before he got sent to prison,
what a horrible bastard.
He's terrible. I hate him. But he bought the original Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, it's the only copy in existence.
The only copy, and it's like, and he paid millions for it. And it's like, but like, I don't want to tell people how they spend their money, because I am very much believe everyone does their own thing, individual, blah blah blah. But holy crap, like, what is this kind of, how am I gonna phrase this without being rude? You know what, I'm not, I'm just gonna be rude. Dick swinging contest between all of these people who with like tons of money, and they're just like, oh, I bought a 1.5 million game. Okay, why don't you feel that kind of pride, you know, oh, I fed 1.5 million people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't get behind this. I just cannot get behind this. There's no reason. There's zero reason for an N64 game to be $1.5 million. There's no reason.
Pete, any closing thoughts?
Well, I can't find this tweet. It must have been deleted.
Okay.
But basically, the tweet in some respects was from Pat Contry, who's Pat the NES punk, who, as you probably know, is a massive collector. Seems to believe that there is market manipulation on the used video game market by a very select few millionaires who are manipulating the market either for their own gain, to screw over the collectors themselves, or because he believes that this is some sort of illegal practice to do with tax evasion.
Money laundering.
I don't know.
Yeah, money laundering. That's the one. Thank you.
I don't know about some scheme to money launder, but I do maybe I can see this being exploited by people that have the funds to exploit it. I can see that.
You tell me that someone who's got the money to do that doesn't turn around and go, oh, by the way, if I give you $1.5 million for this copy that you have, then that means that we make bank.
if I get this 9.8 A++ certified, that's still my money.
And
Okay.
what's to say that they haven't paid Water off for this as well?
Right. Well, before we start delving into conspiracy theory territory, yeah, this has been another interesting topic. Again,
Yeah.
some people might have very strong views on this.
I do. It's
I think there
crap.
is a lot of societal and political context to this story as well, as they've brought up. But yeah, that was that. Shall we move on to our last story?
Yeah.
So, gang, here is our final story.
So it wouldn't be a Ciaran News Week without a talk about Phil Spencer.
We love Phil Spencer here. Xbox head Phil Spencer has been doing the rounds this week, making his way onto several podcasts and interviews where he's been discussing all things Xbox and gaming. There was an interview he conducted with Kinda Funny Games that caught the attention of several outlets and gamers. Appearing on the Kinda Funny Gamecast, Phil expressed his interest in the topic of video game preservation, saying that the games industry needs to come together behind video game preservation. In particular, he mentioned how important it is that players are still able to go back and play older games, and that he doesn't want to lose the ability to do just that. Here's a quote from Phil himself.
Big Phil.
I really wish, as an industry, we'd come together and help preserve the industry of what gaming is about, so we don't lose the ability to go back.
Try telling that to Jim Ryan.
As an industry, I would love it if we came together to help preserve the history of what our industry is about, so we don't lose access to some of the things that got us to where we are today. Very, very sentimental. I like it. This then led onto a discussion about Xbox Game Pass, naturally, and how he believes that Xbox Game Pass is a powerful force in the fight for video game preservation. Specifically, when asked if Game Pass helps justify potential reboots, Spencer responded saying absolutely it does. He followed this by listing games like Fable and Prey, and how having older games on Game Pass really helps bring potential reboots into the conversation, as they're able to look at the Game Pass data and see what games could be in with a shot of getting some love. Here's another quote from Big Phil. Seeing more people playing something like Prey or Dishonored or going back to Fable means that you can go back and talk about those games. For us, as we sit back as a creative organisation and watch what people are interested in, I've messed up that quote, but that's the gist. It gives us more data to think about things that we might pick up and take forward with new ideas, and new teams might want to go do that. Xbox already has some reboots in the pipeline with franchises like Fable and Perfect Dark returning, which reflect Phil's sentiment towards keeping game history alive, but some places have also raised questions around whether Game Pass and reboots themselves are actually allies in the fight for video game preservation. Which now leads us on to our discussion on this topic, Kiley and Pete.
Well, Ciaran, all I'm going to say is you may have messed up that quote, but you definitely did a hell of a lot more work than I do usually putting the news together, so fair play to you. You had quotes, I don't even have those.
There's a couple of those, Pete,
I just linked the article and go, there you go, you can find them yourself.
Sometimes you read the quote, sometimes you do.
Sometimes I do, but you have done a hell of a lot more than I usually do. Like that document I gave you, I literally just bullet point everything and then I'm done. So yeah, you've done so much more than me, so fair play.
Oh, there you go, Brent's looking forward to video game preservation talk. Well, that's what this is about.
Yes, I did see that as well. So,
Wait, so guys, there you go.
Right.
Xbox, preservation and Game Pass.
Go for it, Pete, and then.
Well, you can already see that game preservation is a huge thing for them. I mean, just look at the fact that original Xbox and 360 games are getting the whole smart delivery treatment with trying to bring them up into more recent generation talking points. I think that's a really good thing for the preservation side of things as well. I can kind of understand why people are a bit hit and miss about Game Pass in terms of game preservation, but I think that's mainly because of the messaging. You know, you get these games as part of your subscription, but then people were asked, what if they go away? But then the messaging hasn't exactly been as clear that you get a discount once those games leave Game Pass if you've played them, which I think is good. It does help with that sort of thing. I don't know. I think he's definitely doing a hell of a lot more than Jim Ryan is doing about game preservation for sure, and Sony as a whole. And I think they're doing a little bit more than Nintendo, because Nintendo are re-releasing old games constantly for money, which doesn't help. Especially when they're taking down ROM sites but have been guilty in the past of reselling their own ROMs from ROM sites. So it's quite bad what Nintendo are doing with their state of preservation. The Switch Online service with the NES and the SNES does help with that. I'm not going to deny that. So outside of Steam, yeah, Xbox are doing it well. They're doing it very well, in fact. I still think there's more that they can do. But this is definitely a good step in the right direction for them, especially after the absolute S show that was the Xbox One. They are definitely doing more to try and curry favor with their subscribers for sure. And yeah. I'm not even going to say their customers anymore; they're subscribers.
Yeah, I think since the whole backwards compatibility blunder they made with the Xbox One, they have really been hammering down on backwards compatibility with Xbox since then, which backwards compatibility for me at this point is the one thing I see as true video game preservation, just keeping those games alive in the sense that they are still able to be played by people. But then that does feed into the conversation as do reboots count?
Right.
But before
I think reboots. Yeah. I'm going to say reboots do count. It was something I was supposed to mention. Reboots absolutely do count because it means that it gives you a new way to play a series that you wouldn't have played before. And if you like that game, you might go back and play previous.
Right, well, Kiley, I can see you're maybe wanting to comment on this, but what is your general thoughts on this one first, just to get a little idea of what you think about this story itself?
Okay, so I have like that many points. But first of all, I want to say that, again, based on all the millions of court documents I had to read, Phil Spencer is the real deal. He's not faking. This is how he is. He really does believe game preservation is important. As do I. As do all of us on here, actually.
I do think we all do.
We've talked about it before.
We were going to have a discussion about it, but we never got around to getting the people together for it.
Right. I mean, we did kind of touch on it a few episodes way back. But I think, as far as reboots counting, we know I'm a Halo fangirl. That's not a hidden thing. But one thing, and I'm going back through Master Chief Collection, just because I want to. But one thing that I absolutely adore, that I think that they did, that I would love to see more of, is the fact that, if you don't know, but when you play like Halo CE and Halo 2, you can flip back and forth between.
Oh yes, you can.
The original and the remaster. Now, remaster is not a reboot. I get that, but there's something that I love that. I just love that because it's preserving the original graphics, the original feelings, the original sounds. Because if you flip back, you get the original sounds as far in there.
I mean, you have them on other games as well. Look at the Disney collection that they released on Xbox, which is like Lion King and Aladdin. They had that option on there too.
Right.
They do have it on other games. I just can't think of the life of me.
Oh, it's definitely a thing that's done. I would just like to see it done more.
Oh, I agree. Like, I do think there should be more to be done about re-releasing old games that have the classic filter and stuff like that.
Well, see, here's the thing, and here's another example. Doom Eternal. It also shipped, well, at least my copy, came with Doom 64, Doom 3.
Nah, that was a special edition. That was, like, you had to pay more for that, and I don't...
Which is fine, but I mean, the point of it being, perhaps if we're going to do reboots in the future, they could offer to ship it with originals as well, so that we don't lose that, and then it's always on. Let's say the Xbox, because that's what I play. So you always got it right there.
I agree. Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you there. I think if you do a reboot, then the older games should be included as part of the package.
Yeah, because actually, whoa, if you go way back, holy crap, it just dawned on me. Way back on the Sega Game Gear Master System? whatever you guys call it over here.
You mean the Mega Drive?
Yeah, that thing. They had Pitfall, and they had the original Atari Pitfall as well as that one. See, I think that's the way to go. You get people.
But then,
what?
I was gonna say, they did a re-release of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater on the PS2, which was Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence.
Mm-hmm.
It also included Metal Gear 1 and 2 as part of the package.
Right. I would like to see that happen more. I just, bam, that's just it. I would like to see that more.
Yeah. For me, with regards to this story, another big dub for Xbox. Because that's the thing. I think the greatest thing to happen to Xbox in the past few years has been Phil Spencer. Because I think the rhetoric when he took over was that he is a gamer and he knows what gamers want, and I think he has proved that time and time again.
He keeps proving it time and time again. The fact of the matter is that Don Matrick completely ruined them, like to the point where they could have died.
And it's I was just saying, and it's like, you know, again, I think, but as I said before, backwards compatibility has been a big thing for Xbox since the whole PlayStation dig at them at that E3 with the handing over.
That is still one of the funniest videos I think I've seen.
That is probably what spurred them on to be where they are now. And again, Game Pass. Game Pass is an ally in that wholeheartedly, I believe. I don't think there's much there to say their fault, because again, I said, it helps them identify games that could be in with the reboot treatment.
Right.
And you know, even on a simple note, it just gives people a chance to go back and explore gaming's past.
Yeah.
With all the different, I mean, you've got original Xbox games on there, like original Xbox.
Right. But
that's what I mean. That's what I was saying with Smart Delivery. Like they're now like new games again. It's crazy.
Yeah. But then, so I think Game Pass is great for video game preservation. I think one thing that characterised that the best was when during that live event they had with Bethesda when they both teamed up. Yeah. Todd Howard explicitly mentioned the fact that he's very happy that he gets to see Morrowind on consoles again.
Yeah. Yes.
And being able to get played on Game Pass, and like, he talked about Game Pass and how, for him as a developer, it's an amazing thing for him to be able to put projects he's worked on in the past on there and see it live on. And new people experience that for the first time.
Exactly, and not even just that. They recently just added like Fallout 1 and 2 to Game Pass for PC as well, and which I know a lot of people probably would have never played.
And New Vegas is on there now.
Yeah, and
but I meant 1 and 2 specifically for PC because they weren't seen before.
New Vegas.
Yeah, but then onto the wider concept of preservation.
Yes.
When I said I don't think reboots are that great for preservation, it is because of what you say, Kiley, remasters. There's a distinct difference between a reboot and a remaster. Master Chief Collection isn't so much a collection of remasters, because only a couple of them did get remastered.
They are essentially re-releases.
Yeah, re-releases, but Master Chief Collection has been optimised, it's been updated.
Right.
Obviously not graphically by any means. I think you've got next enhancements now.
Though.
Yeah, PC versions have, well, in fact, it's on PC as well now. That's the first thing. Those Halo games are on
crazy.
PC as well.
Well, the Halo 2 did come out on PC back in the day, but it was Games for Life years ago. Jesus.
Yeah, and the grand scheme of the package you're getting, Halo Combat Evolved and Halo 2 that were out on PC, but after that they stopped.
Yeah.
But the thing with the remasters, right? With the remaster, all you're really doing is, again, updating an old game to make it look better, maybe play a bit better. In that sense, it is the exact same game, just with a new coat of paint.
Yeah.
But then reboots, to me, all reboots is they're taking the franchise and the idea, and
modernising,
and revamping it, and they're making something new out of that same idea. And I don't know if that. I don't think that's preserving the games. That's preserving
the idea.
The franchise.
It's preserving the IP.
Exactly. The way I see it, it's the same sense where Disney make the odd B-tier movie of their property because they have to keep the copyright.
Yeah, I'm very cynical about this.
It's like Perfect Dark.
Well, I was going to say is
Well, I mean,
it's Mary Poppins for sure.
Yeah, that's like, not to say that reboots are bad by any means, but because you know, it's like some franchises are that good that we do need new entries in it. But in the same way, I don't think reboots.
Well, see,
strictly qualify as.
No, not as
They
don't
qualify as preservation because they're new games.
Again, it preserves the IP.
Right.
But it breathes new life into it, but it doesn't. It doesn't. I suppose though, Phil mentioned the one word that is history, and I suppose that in a sense it's preserving the history because it's keeping an old franchise alive. I think reboots are a weird one.
They are because
there's pros and cons to them within this argument.
Because Tomb Raider by Crystal Dynamics is not Tomb Raider as we know it.
Yeah, exactly.
Agreed.
I am not a fan of that rebooted franchise, and they didn't need to reboot it. There was no reason to, but they did, and I guess it was to preserve the IP. What?
I think they needed to do something with it because the last few games the developers have completely lost interest in, and they didn't even want to do it anymore. So yeah, they needed to revive the franchise.
Yeah, but they took it in such a different direction from its original.
I never said anything about that. I just said that the games that had come out before that were pretty piss poor. Let's be honest.
Yeah, they weren't great.
Yeah. So in that sense, Tomb Raider needed a reboot.
I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know.
Well, when Eidos basically folded, and the original creators were there, they needed to do something with it. The only way that they could go is by giving it to a new company who was still under the umbrella. So technically, the only way they could go was a reboot.
I mean,
it's not the original creative vision by the original creators.
Yeah. I'm gonna read some of what chat has said because it's
I was gonna go through that. But you carry on.
Well, I was gonna say either way. Oh gosh, I gotta scroll up because
I've got it here anyway.
Okay, so, go for it.
Nana has put that makes no sense because I can guarantee a lot of people play Banjo-Kazooie, but they have done absolutely nothing with it. To which Brent has retorted, says the big question is how many hours do I need to play Banjo-Kazooie to get a new one?
Brent, I think if you dedicate all of your time from this very second to Banjo-Kazooie, I think they'll look and say, look how many people are playing it. Look how much game time this game's getting now.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll give you the bird and bear.
Yeah, he also put, I think Game Pass can be good for preservation, but it doesn't have to be. Putting every new Microsoft Studio game on the service forever is a start. Mike wanted to know about the stream. Was it jittery for y'all? And so, that was you, Kylie.
That's
sorry.
Me. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
If it says y'all, that's me.
Yeah. I didn't click on that until I saw the y'all. Okay. So Nana put, I feel like Nintendo want to get rid of the GameCube era. Like it never happened. To be honest, I disagree because why else would they have included a GameCube adapter with Smash Brothers and enabled GameCube controller support with a couple of their games?
Right.
On the Switch eShop, so no, they're not. I do agree they're trying to get rid of some of the games from the series in that, which is probably why we haven't seen a GameCube service. Anyway, Brent has put, I want every Microsoft game available on Game Pass. For example, all Forza, Blinks, etc.
I agree. I agree. And why hasn't it been?
Yeah. Nana has also put, I like the Wii era. I can understand because it hasn't been too long by gaming standards, but they don't really talk about games that much. I think he means Nintendo.
Oh,
I understand why, but I also think that Trial by Fire should be a thing for shovelware games. Lol. Shovelware, yeah. Brent has put, I think some reboots count. Making the game easier and more accessible is helping preservation. Final Fantasy VII Remake does not count. It's too different. Oh.
Is that a discussion for a different day, Pete?
What? This remake does not count.
I mean, it
is. Just because your face there.
Yeah, because I think I have to disagree. I don't think Final Fantasy VII Remake should have been called Remake. It should have been called Final Fantasy VII Reimagining.
Right. I agree with that.
That's the only thing I disagree with. It's not a remake for sure. It absolutely is not.
No.
Brent has also put, I am a sucker for pre-order the new game to also receive the previous game or games.
I'm as
I
well.
I think some reboots count. Making game, yeah, we also said that. Tomb Raider Anniversary already existed, so Tomb Raider had a reboot after a remaster.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I just hate Crystal Dynamics version.
Yeah, so Nana has put, I thought the first reboot game was fine. I guess he's talking about Tomb Raider.
Right.
And you can get rid of all of the old Tomb Raider games for like cents on the dollar.
Yeah, you can.
Just need to have a look at this one and said, yeah, that's for another day though.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of Crystal Dynamics, what they did with Lara Croft. But anyway.
Just look
right.
Look what I done with the Avengers.
Right, well, thank you, chat, for your input. We always love input, especially from our listeners as well. But we'll tell you very soon where to reach us. But Pete, Kiley, what's your overall thoughts on this story? And then just to summarise your thoughts on this story: Xbox, Phil, and preservation.
If I wasn't such a Nintendo fan, I'd want to call Phil Spencer my dad.
Understandable.
But I probably still could because he likes Nintendo. So, Father Phil. Yeah, I'm so much more on board with Microsoft and Xbox now, and I know big company Microsoft, yeah, but the gaming division has been proving more and more recently that they're so much more interested in game preservation, putting out decent experiences, and just generally being for the consumer more than for their own back pockets. So, fair play to the Xbox team and especially Phil Spencer heading it up. So. Can't argue with them. They're doing a great job.
Yep.
Jim Ryan, take a note.
Kiley?
Yeah, I have to share my enjoyment of Philip Spencer. He is the real deal. I love his emails. But I really think that, especially in contrast to Jim Ryan, who I am not a fan of, who has explicitly stated publicly that he is not a fan of old games and thinks that no one wants to play them anyway. Phil Spencer knows that a gamer's a gamer forever, and gamers love games. Like, if all I had to play was an Atari or something, I'd still play it.
Yeah, I'd play the hell out of it because it's games.
Yeah, exactly. My point. I mean, I will even play. Oh, y'all probably don't have an equivalent. You know, like, okay, so when you're a kid and you had one like this thing and it was full of water and you had to push the buttons and make the rings go up.
Yeah.
Okay,
they were great.
You did have that.
I love those.
Yeah, I would play that.
Ciaran, that might be a little bit after your time, I'm afraid.
On.
Sounds vaguely familiar.
Come on, that's gotta be universal. That can't be an age.
You might have had it. It's basically like there's a ball in like some water, and you try and you press buttons to float it to the top, basically to get it in rings.
I think I've done something like that. Yeah.
Hooray for bath toys.
oh gosh. But anyway, my point being that a gamer is. Shut up, Pete. A gamer is a gamer, and they will play whatever and. Like, I'm a weirdo. We know this. This is not a new thing. Like, one thing that I really enjoy doing is...
Wait, hold the presses.
Yes. Stop everything. Oh, my gosh. But, no, one thing that I, really like to do is I will go buy old cookbooks, from, turn of the century 1800s to up to the 60s, and I'll cook something from there because it's like a time machine. It's the same exact thing with... old games. It's like a time machine for me. I get to go back and see something I didn't live through. Like, what did it feel like? What did it, that kind of thing.
I think it's interesting actually because a lot of people will go and play an old game and go, I can't get on board with it because it doesn't have modern sensibilities. It's like, well, you have to put yourself into the mind frame of what people were like at that time. Yeah. So do I. I love it. That's why I could go back and play Super Mario World all the time because it's great.
Yeah, but you lived through that. I'm talking about even before.
But there's games that I've played like Manic Miner and Jet Set Willy, which are flipping incredible platformers that came well before Mario. And yet they're still intuitive. Like, because I can put myself in the mind frame of Matt Smith, who was back in those days, like, weird guy. Like, it was a 16-year-old kid playing platform, like, who wanted to create a platformer and then became an LSD head, which is kind of awesome. But
wow.
Yeah, it's weird, but I can, like, the long and short of it is I can go back and actually put myself in that mind frame of how things were, but too many people can't do that, and I think more people should.
I don't know. I think a lot of people do enjoy old games. Yeah, I do.
So that was video game preservation, Xbox, and our beloved father Phil.
Oh yes.
Of Xbox. I mean, I've been with Xbox since the 360. I've not gone anywhere since, and I don't see myself going anywhere for a long time. Xbox for me has been the one company that, as Pete said, is focused on the consumer, but also I feel developer, again, reiterating my point about Todd Howard, saying how great it is for him to see his old work still live on. So I think that's a great story.
It is.
And I'm totally on board with Phil Spencer's points about Game Pass and preservation. Again, not too fast about reboots, but who knows, that might be a topic we discuss in the future.
Yeah.
Well, that was the last story we have today.
Sweet.
Well.
So, Kylie, do you want to close us out then? Because we've gone long. We've gone long.
Have we? Feels
we're over an hour and 50 minutes at the moment.
Oh, okay. Well, we just went 20 minutes over. That's not too bad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, first... Oh, gosh. We're going to wrap up the podcast portion, but we want to thank Ciaran for his hard work this week. Putting all
Thank you, Ciaran. That was awesome. Do you want to tell the people where they find you?
Yes. If you want to come follow me anywhere, you've got to follow me on Twitter at the McGinn, which is THEE in McGinn, where you can find an occasional political tweet, my own blog, which I've linked to in my bio, and also some of my reviews or rapid reviews, which I should have one coming out this week, I think.
Sweet.
So keep your eyes peeled for that. Yeah, but where can we find you two?
Kylie?
Oh, why me?
Ladies first.
I'm not a lady. But anyway, you can find me at Kiley Secrete, KILEY, Pete, where can they find you?
That was as quick as brush over as possible.
I'm an expert.
Because she knows the Flash is watching.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Pete Beckett1, which is BECKETT and the number 1, but you can also find me on a movie-related podcast called The Never Watchers.
Yes. I'll also go ahead and big up your last week's episode.
Oh, yes. So I appeared on a podcast that I can't actually say the name of on here because it's very rude and sweary, but it's called What the F Do You Want? Where I spoke about the toxic Smash Brothers community.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun, so please go and check that out. It's on all good podcast players. Except Acast.
There we go. We want to thank chat for joining us. Also, we thank our listeners for listening to us. You guys are amazing, and we do hope you could join us, but if you can't, that's fine too. We have had an uptick.
Join us.
Join us. Come look at our beautiful faces.
Join us.
Also, yeah.
I was just taking the mic. Carry on.
Right. But yeah, we're over on Rapid Review. Oh, dadgummit. Twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. Come join us every week. We also have a Friday episode.
Friday.
As well. Our Friday episode. I really thought that was going to annoy people and then I would not get to use it again, but it keeps getting used, so yay.
That's because everybody in the internet now knows it's Friday.
But it's just a positive, fun, vibey, Netflix and chill. Come visit us. Okay, that probably isn't what I meant. I meant to say chill.
We better stop this before you cause more problems. Come on.
Okay. But anyway, come check us out, and check out our reviews on rapidreviewsuk.com.
Rapidreviewsuk.com.
Okay.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you, Pete. and people...
This is why she has the document, because what I didn't show you on there was it used to have all the contact details.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that the details weren't there. But but anyway, thank you so much. Yeah. And this is going to
also,
end.
Also,
yes?
To our listeners and viewers, wherever you're finding this, let us know what you think about Red Dead Learning, auctioning games for millions of dollars and pounds. What do you think about Steam Deck? Are you going to buy it? Are you going to try get it? Do you care? And what do you think about video game preservation in Xbox? Do you believe Game Pass is the stalwart guardian of video game preservation? What do you think about reboots as well? Or reboots of video game preservation? Let us know on our Twitter or wherever you so happen to place your opinions and comments.
I mean, if you listen to us on SoundCloud, you can leave a comment on there. You can do so on the YouTube version once we put that up.
If you can track down our addresses, you can even send us formal letters.
Which are at the end of the show. They're at the end of the show.
But yeah, just let us know what you think.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear what you think about all the talks we discussed today.
Good.
Kiley?
Docs is all. But anyway, so that's going to do it for us for the podcast portion. And we will talk to you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Later. You can stop your recording now.
And that's the end of the podcast.
Right, Pete, I need to apologise because I had to turn my laptop charger on for the last little bit there.
That's
so
fine.
There's going to be that kind of background staticky thing.
Not a problem.
I think it's mainly just for the tail end of the Xbox discussion and obviously the outro.
It's fine. I'll have a look at it, but
I'm just happy I got to see the news stories without that being there.
Yeah.
No worries.
That's what I was hoping for, at least.
Yeah, I will. I'll just let everyone know now that the audio version of this is probably going to be a little bit later this week because I need to try something different with the editing this time because last week was not good.
Do you want me to experiment and rip out the audio on this video?
No, thank you.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Okay.
No, like I said, I'd already done that by downloading the Twitch version anyway, and it still was nearly just the same. There was only small differences in it that meant I couldn't be bothered to just replace the whole file. I've got a trick that I can use.
Okay.
This is what I was explaining to you. I didn't explain it off air. What I will say to you guys is I'll send you a picture afterwards and show you what I'm doing with it.
Right.
It should make a huge difference.
It's WAV, isn't it? By the way, I keep forgetting.
Yes, please.
It's WAV. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to upload this.
Yeah, so I'm going to try something different with it. I'll send you a picture afterwards once I've got everything sort of in place. I might even take the time to just give it a test listen first. Because if this works, then this may be how we go forward in the future.
Right.
Yeah. Are you still gonna try and touch up last week's? If you can, or are you...
I'm gonna see how this one turns out. If this one turns out well, then I'll go back and remaster the other one.
Remaster.
Well, it technically is a remaster. It is technically a remaster.
It's a remaster. It's not a remake.
No, I won't be building the episode
Reboot
from the very beginning again.
It's just Pete, and then Pete becomes every role and just films the whole thing again.
Exactly.
Yeah. I might even just re-release it first.
There you go. I'd like to see
Like
you
re-release it, then remaster it, and then reboot it later.
We'll charge people for this version.
Yeah, it's going up on Patreon. The new Patreon.
This is the premium deluxe remaster of episode 86 of Rapid Reviews Radio.
Don't you mean digital premium deluxe?
Oh yes, of course. How silly of me.
Oh dear. Brent says it's lunchtime. How time flies when we talk about game preservation.
Yeah, I think game preservation is a very big topic, but I think we covered that well.
Brent, I'm a postcarder, so I may need to get addresses. Thanks, Nana. I appreciate you saying that's fine.
We'll dox everyone.
We did also it was just a kind of going a bit meta with this.
Yeah.
We got quite a few viewers at the start of this.
Yeah.
I've been keeping track on mine, so I think we had a high of like 11.
We did okay.
Nice.
We did okay.
We had a high of 11, and I think we kept our high numbers through to the end of the Steam Deck conversation. By the end of Steam Deck, we had about 9 or 8. Still.
That was it.
Excellent.
And then I think
we're here just for the Steam
Deck. people started fading off towards the auction topic, but we've now just got a couple more people. By looks, there's 7 people here now.
Oh,
Yeah.
very
It was
good.
5 a second ago. So
We love
hello
our
to people who
lurkers.
just joined.
Good
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
We'll,
You have just missed the big discussion, but you can watch on VOD or the audio version when it's
The
up.
big discussion. I think all of the discussions were big discussions, to be honest.
I like how Ciaran was being the guardian of or he's being Doom guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've done a good job. I let you go on, and as soon as I saw a moment of quiet, I took my chance to swiftly move us forward.
Yeah, of course. But
I
now
should-
you can sort of understand why our old news episodes are like long, because we deviate so badly away from the main topic.
I should put the full force and see what you do.
Yeah. We've now got 9 viewers, and they completely missed our Xbox discussion, which I think is a quite good one.
It was good. And then the whole thing was excellent.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That was a good episode. I was
It's
happy
not
with that.
registering for me. Dadgummit.
What's that?
Sometimes, but not always. I can see chat. I can
Oh,
see
yeah,
who's
yeah,
in
yeah,
chat, but it's not doing it now.
Fair enough.
I
That's
wish it was more
fine.
consistent, but that was fun.
That was a fun episode,
And-
Ciaran. Honestly, mate, you've done a great job with
Yes,
putting
for
the
sure.
news stories together. When I see that document come in and it's 4 pages compared to my measly but pitiful 1 page, it's like, yeah, you've
To be
definitely
fair-
done a lot more work than me.
Pete, to be
It's
fair,
just there's a couple of hours on my Saturday. It's fine.
to
Yeah,
be
that's
fair,
fair.
your first ones were like
Oh, they
that.
were intense, yeah.
And then
I just realised that it was easier to just copy the news story itself, like the link to it, so you had it open, and then just basically write my own sort of blurb to it.
exactly.
See, I literally yesterday when I was like writing these up, I got out the book I bought for my first year of uni, which was news writing, and I was looking at the
Jesus.
inverted. I was looking at the inverted pyramid and doing my best. To try and
Honestly,
follow
mate,
that
you're putting me to shame, right?
structure. I mean, to be fair, it's not.
Oh, yay.
By no means anything that can be published, but I try to give them a bit of structure and I try to write them fairly professionally.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the way it should be. Yay!
Yeah, I agree. Like,
You should completely shout and Peter. That's the way it should be.
sorry,
That's
I'll
not
remember
what
that. No, Kylie, I will remember that when somebody should be tweeting, not me.
Yes, I know.
Right, Pete, that's the audio file just uploading to Google Drive. I'll send
Lovely.
that over.
Thank you very much, mate.
Why is yours so fast?
It's called good internet.
I have good. I'm the one that hosts this dadgum thing.
Yeah.
I know. Look, I can't say anything. That's why
Okay,
it was
that's true.
ironic coming from me.
So Brent, let me know how easy is it to get a cool looking Warframe in Warframe, because that was the one thing that put me off last time. I had no clue how to look good and get new things in it.
You
Oh
don't
yeah, because
look
Ciaran
good, you
likes
just act good.
cosmetics. You're into.
I like this
Yeah.
is the one thing. It is the one
Yeah.
thing that always tempts me back to Fortnite, but I always put myself away because
Yeah.
Fortnite I won't play it. As much as I want to buy all the cool Marvel skins, I'm like, nope, waste
I-
of money, and I won't play the game.
I
Yeah.
can get that. I totally understand that.
But no, I'm pretty sure in Warframe, like, the different Warframes have different abilities and stuff as well, and like
I would
attributes.
assume so, yeah.
it's like a core part of it. But it was the one thing like I played for quite a bit when I did try and play it, and I just could never. I just felt like a very long process unless I spent actual money.
Yeah, which is not cool.
Mm.
Yeah. Again,
I
that's
get
been
that.
years since I played it though, and they've
Yeah.
brought out a ton of new stuff. So
Also,
Yeah, they're always updating it in some way, aren't they?
yeah, but that's why it's been so long. Like it's.
Oh, of course. So
Yeah.
and my further earlier, obviously, about game of the decade, it was more joking than anything because my
Yeah.
game lost out. But
It's game of the generation.
yeah, but game of the generation. Sorry. Yeah. So was it? No, we did game of the decade this time around because we were at the end of the 2020.
2010s.
That's
yeah,
too much for me to remember.
I don't remember. It's fine, but
As in
either
the
way, like, but yeah, I
twi-
can understand why Warframe could very easily win it. It's a very worthy candidate.
I mean, the 2010s are stacked. Because I
Yeah,
remember
exactly.
I remember in the Game of the Decade discussion that everyone was having. I could not. I mean, right, I think the obvious answer would have been Witcher 3. I think a lot of people would have said Witcher 3.
Loads of people went with Witcher 3.
Yeah. But I'm adamant that Blood and Wine, the expansion for Witcher 3, is better than the main game.
Yeah.
Blood and Wine is, pristine.
Brent says he'll help you get whatever you want.
Oh,
To you, Ciaran.
you kind man. You kind soul.
Also, Pete, did you see I did a perfect balance? I wasn't crazy.
So, you know, I was going to say, right, on the note that I almost swapped roles with Pete went a bit chaotic sometimes off the rails. There's a little cuss words in there.
You had to rein him in. I saw that.
But I swear to God, when you noticed that you're having a bit too much fun, you had a little giggle here and there. I think you're enjoying being a little chaotic today.
I'm chaotic neutral by
oh gosh.
by usual standards anyway. So when I have to do the news, I have to be neutral.
You have to be lawful good when you do the news.
No, just lawful neutral.
Yeah, but I'm more concerned just getting a new Warframe really, rather than the base one. That's more the thing I was talking about rather than the actual cosmetic stuff, because I know you can like change colours and that freely. I mean, unless they've changed that as well, again, it's been years. But just get a different Warframe is the one thing I was confused about. But yeah.
See, it was Game of a Generation.
It was.
Game of Generation, so like the millennial game of their generation. Stuff like that.
What did we consider a Game of Generation? It's been so long.
What is the generation though?
I don't remember. Pete set it up.
Wait, no, that's alright.
Give me a moment.
What's your generation?
Hang on.
Oh, right. Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
console
I know.
generation. It was console generation.
Yeah, we did it via console generation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
New generation was just starting.
Because I totally forgot. And also...
Yeah, it was Game of the Decade the year before, sorry. Yeah.
I'm having wings.
Wings?
I was talking to Brent.
I know. I'm just going to have a look at this now, because this is going to annoy me otherwise. I've got to be sure.
What are you having a look at? Well,
SoundCloud posting.
Oh. Well, it was a good show. I'm very proud of
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so we did Game of the Year so in December, and then Game of the Generation. But then the year before was when we did Game of the Year for 2019.
I am saying, Brent, wings.
Oh, right, that's what you're saying, wings. Right, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wings.
Bacon, a bacon sandwich.
Oh.
A couple of bacon rolls.
Nice.
A couple of bacon rolls.
Yes, they call it bacon rolls over here.
There we go. Yeah, so it was the year before we did Game of the Decade for the 2010s.
I would murder someone for bread.
Or a roll and slice.
What is that?
A couple of
roll and a slice.
What is that?
I was hoping to ask Kelly, right? Because a roll and slice is Scottish square sausage.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you never had Scottish square sausage?
I love square sausage.
Oh,
it's
square
so good.
Sausage, right? So some people call it square sausage. I call it slice because it's like slice.
Because
sausage.
it is just a slice of sausage, yeah.
It's a slice of sausage, yeah. And it's literally a square bit of sausage and in a roll, and it's lovely.
That's it.
I used to get one on my way to uni because I'd pass the Greggs.
Oh yeah.
In the morning.
Damn straight.
But I love a good roll and slice. But that's the thing, right? Again, I was talking like I don't know what episode it was an episode, probably a Friday, where I was saying how there's words I use in my local area that people in a city 30 minutes away from me have never heard of before.
Right.
I heard this before.
Yeah. So apparently in Glasgow they call it a roll and square sausage, and then when I went and said, "Oh, I want a roll and slice," they said, "What? Did you just?"
And that's like literally 30 minutes up the road, basically.
So
you know what I mean.
So apparently the proper way to say it is a roll and square sausage in Glasgow, but down here it's a roll and slice.
It makes more sense to say roll and slice because I don't know, square sausage, that just sounds weird.
Yeah, they did this.
Square.
I mean, neither is wrong.
Right.
They had a whole big thing about
and
this.
both are delicious.
That's
so...
like our bread here is called Baps.
Good old Baps, yeah. Well, they are here too as well.
Brent's just making sure we know that Warframe won Game of the Generation by spending his points.
Oh gosh. Yep. He redeemed his 100 points.
Yeah, well, Undertale won Game of the Decade, so yeah, fair enough. They're both winners.
Yeah.
I never really got Undertale.
Why did we invite you on this
I
podcast?
knew that was coming.
I never got.
I'm
I never
actually
got it.
surprised to hear that. I'm actually surprised to hear that.
Nah, I can kind of understand it. Like, it's not for everyone. Because look at Mike, he
Yeah.
struggled with the spider boss and has
Yeah.
never gone back to it since. So.
Mike struggled very much. But
Nah, the game's fantastic. Got a great message.
No, I heard it was very well made. It was great.
it's
But yeah,
full
I
of
never understood it. I never
art.
understood it,
Right.
even at that.
Interesting.
Fair.
That is interesting. Ooh, I don't have to pay for
No,
that.
I'd say
Brent, you have now just witnessed my last episode in this podcast. I will be in a ditch somewhere next week, and not here.
No, we won't just pop you in a ditch. I'll make sure it puts you in the Undertale. Of
Wait.
course.
Brent, there's a shortage on wings. How? How do you not have chickens?
Maybe there's like eco
Chlorinated
wars and
chicken.
they're free.
There ain't enough chlorine left over.
Oh gosh. We won't go there.
Classic bit of chlorinated chicken. Gotta love it.
Yeah, Americans sitting screaming their heads off. Oh, egads, man, we cannot cover our chicken in chlorine.
Oh dear. Dear.
Oh Jesus.
What? There can't be a shortage. That's the one thing that's really good. Well, there's several things good about living in Ireland, but
There's no
Yeah.
shortage of chicken.
there's no shortage of chicken or pigs. We got some, boys.
You'll never, ever, ever run out of a good
Not
bit
gonna
of
run
pork.
out of them. Nope.
Hashtag agriculture.
That's true. And potatoes.
Yeah, you'll never run out of potatoes after what happened a fair few years ago in Ireland.
It's true. Actually, okay, no, look, I'm not gonna get into the whole potato
Yeah, we won't
famine,
bother.
But I do want to say, a lot of people are like, oh, well, just because the potatoes, died from blight, like, how did that put you in a famine or whatever? No, wonderful, beautiful Great Britain, England.
Which is why I wasn't going to keep talking about this.
Took all the food from Ireland.
Because
That's what the famine was.
because I'm going to be honest here, and sorry for the swear, because the UK are fucking arseholes.
Back then, yes. Well, maybe now.
The UK is in.
I
Is
meant
in
England.
everyone?
I meant England. You all get tarred with our terrible brush, I'm afraid.
Nana says I didn't either, Ciaran. Oh, for Undertale.
Didn't get Undertale, yeah.
Maybe it's a generation thing.
It's definitely a
not alone.
generational gap here.
Shut up.
What, me and you are the same age and we like the game.
I'm
But
gonna
yeah,
drink
Nana
more.
and Ciaran are like a similar age and they didn't like the game.
It's not to say I didn't like it. It's just I didn't really get it. I didn't. I know. I didn't get the hype around it. Didn't get the craze around it. I just don't know. I never. I could see it was an interesting game. It looked like a well-made game. It just didn't. I didn't seem like anything too special.
Oh,
Well,
Brent
for
says
me-
he didn't enjoy
yeah.
it either, and he's alright.
For me, I know we could already talk about this like massively. For me, it's an RPG. Like, yes, it's short in terms of RPGs, and it's not really
got
that
so
much of
much
an RPG.
heart.
No. Oh, shut up.
It
No,
does.
what I was gonna. No, it does. Of course, it does. That's the main bloody theme of the game. So shut up. For me, it's actually the battle system is more intuitive than any RPG I've ever played. Plus, it gives you the option, which has now started coming into RPGs, to spare enemies.
Well, that's the whole point of the game.
Exactly. But now our mainline RPGs are actually offering that as a feature now.
Yeah.
So it's influential.
What? Oh, okay. Sorry, Brent.
Oh,
I had
Jesus.
to-
I thought you were talking about Undertale and
I
that
was
as well. I was like, what?
He's talking about wings, but I was very confused.
I never knew Trump impacted Undertale.
Neither did I.
Trump policies, pandemic, and decade-long super drought. Oh gosh, yeah.
Oh, my
Yeah, when I left the U.S., the drought started.
God.
Well, just remember, in like 19 years, nobody will have wings because society will collapse. Well, some people have wings. Those who rise above and become like warlords, they will have wings. But
So you mean the elite?
I have an underground.
No,
bunker.
no, Pete, because the elite will already be in space. You'll be
Oh
gone.
yeah, Bezos and his
Wait,
Marvel
why do you think
rocket.
why do you think they're
This
trialing it now? They know fine well.
Yeah, of course.
18-year-old, and they didn't even go to space. Suborbital.
I know.
See, if I had a political podcast, I'd go into how even space is now being commercialised and
It
monetised.
is, but it was
But
going
this
to
isn't a
be.
political podcast, so I'm going to refrain.
Well, but we're not on the podcast anymore. So, but of course they're going to mine the moon. I wrote a book about.
What are you talking about? They probably already did. Did you not
The
watch
Chinese
that Wallace and
probably have a
Gromit
super base up there.
episode?
What, Ciaran?
The Chinese probably have a super base up there, just under the crust.
I reckon Russia probably does.
You should read my book, Pete. It's about China and Russia and America and their space race. But yes.
That would require you to actually send me a link to it,
No, I
which
haven't.
you've refused to do so far.
I send you a copy. When you guys
Yeah,
come, I'll give everyone a copy.
Yeah,
A
sure.
signed copy.
I still need to talk to you about some business, about some t-shirts I want done.
Yeah, but not right now. No business.
Oh, I know. I'm aware of that. It's why I haven't brought it up in a while. So.
Hey, Peter, we don't talk business on this podcast, okay? We do have Kim.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'll make you an offer you can't refuse.
You want to talk business? You want to talk business? We do in private, okay?
He's got the facial expression down as well. I was captivated by that. That's good. That's good.
I love.
That's killed everything. So let's go.
Randomly aside, I love The Godfather. Well, 1 and 2. I don't like Godfather 3.
Godfather 3 is awful.
Jump off a bridge?
It's really, really bad.
It's
Really,
terrible.
really bad.
It's terrible. It's overacted.
To be honest,
terribly
To be honest, I might be shot for saying this because I've got 2 fans of The Godfather in this house, but
Oh,
it might be a bit overrated.
wait. Godfather 3, right? Or do you?
I think he means all of them.
I mean all of them.
No, what is wrong with you? They're
Pete
wonderful.
does what he
I think-
wants.
I think there are better gangster movies out there.
No.
Pete's a lone wolf.
There are
Does
better
not go
gangster
with the
movies
masses.
out there.
Alright, you tell me
Name
what.
one.
Are you gonna say Goodfellas?
Percent Goodfellas is much better. Of course it is.
No.
Shut up.
No. It's
Even
good.
though, look, no,
Good.
the Irishman does gangster
'Cause-
movies better than the Godfather does.
I couldn't
Right,
think-
now,
The
see, that's-
aging
that's-
thing is a bit weird. That's
What?
the only thing
Wait,
about it.
wait.
Hey,
what's-
hey, Pete, did you watch The Irishman in one sitting?
Yes.
Good man. That's how it should be
Wow.
watched.
Yeah.
I'll
exactly.
be honest, right? I'll be honest.
It's a tough
one-
watch.
No, right, it's a film I often forget about, but it's one that at the time, the ending killed me. The ending nearly brought a tear. Well, it did bring a tear to my eye.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was such a
Yes.
sad ending to that
You-
film.
Yeah.
I
But
know
this,
you-
It was just because by the end you really get the point of it. You really get the point of the movie
yeah.
with the ending, and that is just so depressing.
But this is the thing, right? Is that I'm not saying that Godfather is bad. You've just assumed that by me saying it's overrated, you
I
think
wanna
it's
know-
bad.
I want to know what you rate higher. Casino, Goodfellas, what?
I'm not massive on gangster movies, so I don't
Yeah,
watch
you're not.
many of them
Then you
myself.
don't count. What?
But
What are
good-
you talking about?
But Goodfellas is a fantastic movie. It can be
Goodfellas
enjoyed by
is good.
most people outside of gangster movies.
I'm
I'm just not a big fan of gangster movies in general.
Yeah.
What's wrong with
I don't get the
both
appeal.
of you?
I don't get the appeal. I don't. Maybe it's past my time.
It's
Maybe that's
probably
what it is.
it's probably a time period thing for me.
I know people that my age that do really like those movies. I
Oh,
just
great, so we're gonna bring age into this.
No, me and you are the same age. We've said that.
No, but Kieran's bringing.
Well, he is for sure. Yeah, I didn't.
Well, I love them, and they were made way before I was born. But
Yeah, I can appreciate the goodness of them because I think
I love them. I'm sorry, I like the historical
Oh.
aspects. And
Yeah, I was having the right moment there. I couldn't remember who directed it. But it's Francis Ford Coppola.
Yeah.
I think he's fantastic. He's a great director.
Have you ever seen Dog's Days?
Oh yeah, it's brilliant.
Frickin' heck.
Yeah, I like him as a director.
Frickin' massive heck.
I don't know. I just think Godfather. It's one of those films that has been hyped up by the masses so many times that when you first go and see it, you're expecting an utter masterpiece, and it's.
For me, it's an utter masterpiece. It is.
For some people like myself, I don't think it is. I really don't.
I mean, we're all entitled to our opinions.
I think, mostly for me, and this is a huge criticism I had with The Irishman as well.
That's Goodfellas, Brent.
And it's slow pace.
Oh no,
it's
see, I don't.
Slow pace. I do like methodical movies. But
I don't have an attention span.
Yeah.
And I can sit through that 3 hours, and I'm like, whoa, 3 hours passed? What?
That's the problem for me. If it's a good 3 hours, like the time flies. I don't even look at my phone once. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the first time I saw that in cinema, that is 2 3/4 hours, and I never even imagined that it was that time. I literally looked at that and went, "That was a breeze. That was an awesome movie."
Actually, people say that's maybe not one of Quentin Tarantino's best films, which it probably isn't.
At all.
But see, I remember going to see that in cinema, and I thought it was great, especially the end of it was the punchline was well worth sitting through the joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
People
what I'd
hate
put
that scene though, which is really weird. I think it's brilliant.
Brilliant. Oh, it's excellent.
For me, what I love about that movie is how, and I know I've just criticised this movie for it, but how slow and methodical it is. But the thing is, we
all have to have our thing.
It's weird. When it comes to gangster movies, I can't stand slow and methodical, but when it comes to pieces Once Upon a Time, I'm fine with it.
I just don't see the appeal in the genre, frankly.
Yeah, I think
the Mafia that's not cool.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan.
For that.
Loyalty,
no, I'm not the biggest gangster movie fan as well.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of gangster movies. I'm not.
Loyalty and family and just loyalty and
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, it sounds like you're watching Fast and Furious here.
No.
You can have any beer that you want, so long as it's Corona.
There's no depth in Fast and Furious. They're fun.
Did Dominic Toretto appear in The Godfather?
You're all butts. I love gangster movies. I just love it. I love them. I like.
Dominic Toretto's at the gateway driver for the Mafia.
Fast and the Furious could be seen as a gangster movie.
Not for me, because I need depth and.
Street gangs.
Again, nothing against Fast and Furious. It is fun. It is enjoyable, but there's no depth.
Ciaran, I think your video stopped again.
Yeah, no, the chat. Well, you guys kind of froze for me there, so I imagine that probably.
Right.
Fair enough. Oh, there you go. You're good now.
But.
Oh, okay.
I love depth. Just give me.
You love depth? I don't know anyone loves depth anymore.
What?
Well, no. Listen, right. In that relationship, Amber and Depp were both horrible.
Yeah,
that was a toxic relationship.
Oh, frick yes!
But criminal that she got away
with
it
devil.
when he didn't.
Yeah.
She's the devil. I can't stand her. I get he wasn't a freaking.
Yeah, he was by no means innocent. I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah,
but she's like different level.
He lost his job.
He lost his job, and she kept hers. I'm sorry, but both of them should have lost their jobs.
Yeah, but both of them should have equally been cancelled, so to speak.
Yeah.
Kylie, calm down. I can see those eyes killing me. It's like, frick.
Can't stand her.
I know.
Because you know what? I go back and I watch Pirates of the Caribbean, and I still love the first three.
Look,
it's great, yeah.
I still love the first three films.
The first three,
Yeah, I'm glad you said the first three
that exist in that film franchise.
Yes.
It's the only films that should exist in that film franchise. But if I was a cynic, I would say only the first should.
I don't think
or
that
deserves to exist.
I don't think that Johnny Depp did anything that's deserving of canceling. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been in toxic relationships, so maybe my whole vision is fricked up. But
so Brent's put they started out by stealing VTRs and TVs in Fast and Furious, so yeah.
Oh gosh. But again,
it's a gangster movie.
I'm talking about depth.
It's a nouveau riche gangster movie.
Nope, I need depth. Gotta give me depth. You gotta give me substance. You gotta give me symbolism. Fast
and Furious had substance. Nope. It was all about family.
No. It's fun. It is fun. It is a fun
family.
joyride. Oh gosh. But absolutely not.
Living life quarter of a mile at a time.
No, I need.
I just prefer the Bobby oh god.
I need
what's his
multi
name?
layers. I need layers.
What's his name?
Give me layers.
Oh,
That's why I love Shrek.
yeah, I was gonna quote Talladega Nights. Ricky Bobby. That's it. It's
Gosh.
like, if you're not first, you're lost.
Yes. I used to. Oh, I used to get in so much trouble because I used to say second place was first place loser, and my
No, everyone says that now though. They
Yeah,
don't say
but-
it's like, oh yeah, it's first loser.
my band director was like, "How you cannot have that mentality because those
But
are
it's all right.
perfectionists."
I know. But
And he was
still.
like, "You can't have that mentality," and I was like, "Nope." So I
But
got
it's true.
second place.
Was a music instructor J.K. Simmons?
Did it have a good ending or a bad ending in your opinion?
Well, put it this way, I got
Did they make you play until the sweat was dripping and your fingers were all bloody?
see. The thing is, that's exactly the kind of.
Chat, if you haven't seen it, go watch Whiplash.
Yeah, go and watch Whiplash. It's amazing. Even though me and Ciaran absolutely disagree about the ending.
Oh my
That
gosh.
ended's horrible.
Okay, I'm not gonna say anymore.
Great ending.
Because nobody wants to hear it anyway. But
No, we do. Carry
no,
on,
you
carry
don't.
on.
Carry
No,
on.
because you've interrupted me like 3 times. So.
They're making us feel bad.
No. No.
Do it.
Let's see. Oh gosh, Ricky Bobby. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up.
Ricky Bobby. Sacha Baron
Oh,
Cohen. That's a
gosh.
good role for him at least.
Oh my goodness. But wait, Nana, you say I can do both, to be honest. What can you do both of?
I think it means you can steal VCRs and TVs.
Or he could live his life a quarter mile at a time
Oh my gosh. So terrible. Look, again,
and come first or last. I don't
nothing
know.
against Fast and Furious because I do think they are enjoyable. But I think there's a lot of movies out there that are just enjoyable. But what are you laughing at, Karen?
It's just so perfectly timed after Brett's
Yeah,
comment.
I can do both.
They started by selling VCRs and TVs. Oh, sorry, started by stealing
No,
VCRs
I
and
can
TVs.
do
And I can do both, to be honest.
Oh gosh,
Look,
yeah.
If you need some master sleuthing by the looks of it, it's apparently Nana is your man to do it. You can steal your phone TV.
If you're looking at breaking the lucrative world of petty theft,
Yeah,
Um,
he specialises in TVs and VCRs.
Oh,
I don't know how valuable they are now.
and it's a niche market, but it still makes money.
Movie, lol. I like
Yeah,
both
yes,
mindless
okay.
stuff and stuff with layers.
yeah, that's how I am. Like I make no secret
Onion
of it.
layers.
What?
No, carry on.
Did you say onions have layers? Because I already said Shrek.
Oh, for Christ's sakes, why are we making Shrek
Literally
quotes now?
already said Shrek when you guys were talking over me for the
I
millionth
know.
time. But no, like I love Dumb and Dumber. It's the dumbest, stupidest movie, but I love it. But I also love, like really deep, moving, emotional movies as well.
I love the Cable Guy,
Like
and that's a
Fast and
dumbass movie. Yeah.
Yes, Karen. That's
Like Fast and
What
Furious.
you mean high drama like Fast and the Furious 7?
That's the thing.
Yep.
That's the thing. I to this day I love Gladiator. I'd say Gladiator's very slow at parts, but
Oh
I
my
just think Gladiator's a
Oh, it's
brilliant story.
It's
An
so
excellent story.
amazing.
But that's like the films I grew up with. It's probably the reason why I didn't really get into gangster films. I grew up I think the oldest film I'd ever seen was A New Hope on
That's pretty
VHS.
old. I mean, that's pretty old.
It's 77. It's pretty old,
Like,
yeah.
in my room, I had a VHS player. And I remember one day my dad brought in this
Wow.
thing called it's called Star Wars, and I was like, what is this? I remember being just fixed to my little box, chunky ass
Oh
What,
my
like
gosh.
screen.
You had like a CRT?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
like
crap.
Right.
and
Holy
sitting
crap.
watching it. And then I was hooked on Star Wars from there, and my dad brought all the VHSs and the rest of them.
Aww.
And then I also ended
Yeah.
up watching, when I was a bit older, I watched Lord of the Rings after that.
Oh yeah.
Not even an old
so-
film, though.
Yeah, it's not even that old, considering. And I remember absolutely loving the prequels as a wee guy. I loved the prequels. I never saw them in cinemas because by the time that prequel trilogy finished up, I wasn't even 4. I don't think. I think I was 4 by the time they finished. But I watched them
I know, Pete.
and loved them.
I know.
And then only other films I kind of watched around then was Shrek, was Pixar, because I always used to go to cinema on birthdays, and it was always kids' films, obviously, because it was a family outing.
Yeah.
My dad did show me Alien and Aliens.
Wow.
And I think I was less than 10 years old when he showed me them.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even watch them until I was over 10.
No, they were...
and the chest burster was like, the alien itself didn't scare me, it was the scene the little alien burst that's on his chest. It's so disgusting.
It's so good though.
Body horror is just off. It's nasty.
Did you know something about that scene?
They...
You want to know about it?
Oh,
no,
okay, I'll be quiet, I'll be quiet.
His chest actually burst open.
No. No, they managed to set it up, obviously, that there was an animatronic there.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, the only people in the room who knew what was going on was Ridley Scott and John Hurt himself. That was it. All reactions are actually genuine.
They're real. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's amazing.
I love that.
So, yeah, they didn't tell anybody, so every reaction was like actual, genuine, like horror. It was awesome. So that one that you've got the woman going, "Oh God!" It's like an actual, genuine, horrified like moment, and it's so awesome. You can't make movies like that anymore. It's
I was
so
gonna say, because that's the thing. Like, that was probably the first time anyone had ever seen. So, because that was kind of the kind of ruin of kind of cosmic horror and sci-fi horror in film. You think about The Thing as well. The Thing,
oh my God.
to this day, The Thing disturbs me.
Yeah, that is a disturbing movie though.
But the thing about The Thing is, it's very Lovecraftian in the sense that it's scary for the way it looks, and the idea is some hideous, mutated creature thing. But also,
but it could
the Lovecraftian element,
into humans, basically.
Yeah, it's the Lovecraftian element in the sense that it is something we don't understand, and it can't be explained really, and the unknown in the sense of it could be anyone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what terrifies me about it. Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh.
Yes. Yes. Let's see.
Yeah.
Brent says. Oh, sorry, Pete. You want to?
No, you carry on.
Oldest movie I've ever seen is the original Nosferatu, which is terrifying.
Amazing.
Black and white with no sound. Oldest TV show I watched was the original Twilight Zone. That was actually really good. I didn't learn till later, but Rod Serling, who wrote most of the Twilight Zone, he was like a really awesome, freaking amazing writer, very political activist, just all around. Like, I wished I would have like met him.
Yeah.
You could say that Black Mirror is like.
Oh yeah.
The spiritual successor to Twilight Zone.
100%.
You wouldn't have Black Mirror without Twilight Zone. Yeah. Absolutely not.
Especially when you think about the socio-political context of Black Mirror as well.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Enjoy your wings, my friend.
That was fast.
Yeah, I know, that was quick.
Yeah.
I would actually say go and watch the newer Twilight Zones. They're actually not bad.
Oh yeah,
the Jordan Peele ones are very good.
What do you mean newer?
Like the new series, like the reboot series they came out with a couple of years ago.
Oh right, okay.
I know my dad
it was done by Jordan Peele.
I was gonna say, okay, was that because I remembered seeing like Jordan Peele?
Yeah, they've done 2 series of it.
Sweet. Okay, I'll give that.
Yeah,
I like him. He's awesome.
The first episode was crazy. It was like about a comedian who wasn't funny.
Right. There's like an old one like that too.
It's that's why I liked it, because it was very similar to the original one that they'd done.
Very cool.
But then after that, he sort of branches out into his own more sort of unique stories, and they're wicked.
That's really
like some of them are cool. Like Ciaran is the one with. Did you watch it?
Twilight? No, I think my dad watched it. I've never seen it.
There's an episode where they have like an agent going through a house, and the whole thing is just completely messed up. It's so weird and wonderful, like how they do it.
That's fair.
Anyway, I think we should probably wrap this up now, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
It's like 6 o'clock, and I've got editing to do.
Okay.
Yes.
I need your files, by the way, if you haven't already sent them.
Mine's is literally, Peter, is going to be done in like a minute. Yeah, literally less than a minute.
We'll wrap up on here, and then we'll do our thing.
Yeah, no worries. Have we got a raid available?
No.
Raid Shadow Legends?
This episode is not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
I forgot that we were doing
that.
So
no,
next
it's fine.
week,
next week we'll sort it out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So thanks so much for joining us. We're gonna wrap up this episode. It was wonderful. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. Please let us know. Give us some feedback.
Awesome.
We will talk to you on Friday. Bye.
Bye, guys.